Hi there, welcome to Joshi'ing Around, a podcast in which I will show one friend of mine who knows nothing about Joshi Pro Wrestling one Joshi match, and we will talk about their thoughts and their feelings, their first impressions and their reactions. Then I will try and explain the history of the match to them and what makes it so special to me personally. My name is Tom Hunter and welcome to the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Christmas special of Joshi'ing Around. So for our little year retrospective, we plan to do some awards. We sent our guests the award ballot 2 weeks ago, maybe 1 week ago. So we did. Everyone has their picks written down. I think we have up to 3 in some categories. I think we can just also just mention honorable mentions if we want. I don't think we have to get deep into it at this point in the podcast. We don't have to argue for our picks with business metrics and shit. I don't think anyone cares. I think everyone is aware about the different thing.
It's vibes. And if you want to hear more of the case, you can just at us in any of the channels you know we're at, or don't. So yeah, it's not a big deal.
So I have to start off with I have made one rule for myself for this awards ballot segment. I call it the Tam Nakano rule, right? It's the Tam Nakano end rule. So for most of these awards, you can imagine if it's a positive award, it's Tam Nakano end. Then come my answers. So I don't have to mention Tam Nakano every time. It should be what's it called?
Obvious.
Yeah.
Implied.
It should be implied that Tam Nakano is the number one. And then come my real answer. Not that. Yeah, my other answers.
Tim, funnily enough, I also have one of those rules. It's called the Hangman rule.
I'm probably gonna say Tam Nakano every time anyway, and you're gonna say Hangman probably anyway. My other rule is I got WWE is basically excluded for me from these awards pretty much because I don't really consider it pro wrestling anymore.
That's a good rule.
I did put them down in
So they're not winning any of the worst awards.
I do put them down for the worst ones because they still occupy they still occupy a space in the pro wrestling world, right? But I can't give it to the performers itself. I went with for promotion awards, they still negatively impact the pro wrestling world, right? So I had to shout that out. But the performers are excluded from the performing awards, because it's just a different kind of performance to me.
I get you, Tim.
So, anyway, thank you, Eric. We tend to do that with each other.
We vibe, yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, by the way, the points total was 50 points for us in 2017.
Should we then start with the MVP award? Should we just go through? Maybe I start this one and then we go through some order and then we do the backwards one for the next awards or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just freestyling here. I just throw it to someone after I'm done. So it's Tam and Saya Kamitani.
This is for Wrestler of the Year.
Me.
For what?
This is MVP Wrestler of the Year. I went number 1, Saya Kamitani. It cemented for me after she won the Tokyo Sports Award and made history with that. I went Mystico second and Sari third. Emmy, what were your 3 picks?
Yes. Okay. So for MVP Wrestler of the Year, I chose Hangman. And
he was an honorable mention for me. I should mention that he was my 4th pick.
And then I only had one other name. I chose Mercedes, but I can also pick Tam because I know how much she means to you.
Oh,
thank you, Emmy.
Yeah.
That's cute. Who's next?
I guess I'll go. I also picked Saya. Kind of have to. And then I didn't realize we were supposed to do 3, but it would be Hangman, and then honestly, I was thinking Tony Storm, but that's again, it's vibes based because she did a whole lot to save parts of AEW that got real dire.
Oh yeah,
a light in the darkness.
She was AW MVP for the first 5 months easily, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you feel like she could have been a bigger star than she actually became? I feel like she was on the verge of becoming the most popular person in the company, man or woman.
That they didn't main event Revolution with her is insane. If she main evented that show, she would have.
I think they should have
probably.
Yeah, given her the main event and pushed her like the number one person in the company. That's what I think they should have done.
Yeah, I mean, all in, like, I think they did that match really well. Like, also like being there, like the crowd, like there were like two matches that people were like, the crowd was going rabid for, and it was like Hangman Mox and Mercedes Tony. Like they had pretty strong, like similar reactions. I think also she was kind of hurt by the weird build to stats reign, like stat winning in the 4-way, because like it's just kind of, and then they were like, okay, well, she needs to lose the belt so she can go like be in the tag tournament, but then didn't win.
Yeah.
So, but up until that point, you know, like she was really carrying a lot of the company in terms of especially the vibes, I would say, like, which is important because it was you watching it. It's like, okay, he now Tony's going to come out, say something deranged and have a great match.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
David?
Awesome.
So I've got Mystico number 1, Saya number 2, and then for 3, I just had a bunch of names. So Mascara Dorada, Hangman, and Sari. I don't mind any of those. But for me, I think Saya's my number 2, but I think Mystico is kind of far and away for me because it's not just the drawing. It's like CML's recovery is amazing. So if you've been a long-term fan, they were so dead, so terrible, so bad. Pre-pandemic a little bit, and especially during the pandemic when the previous owner died. It was so horrible, and this comeback has been incredible since he got his name back. And I'll mention it when we do most outstanding too, but like he's at like 105 matches, having missed an entire month on Cage Match. And Cage Match is wrong because he's wrestled like 21 matches in a row this month or something. Because they just don't list most of them. He does all these spot shows. He's like,
that's crazy.
Durability, importance to all these shows, the Mexican culture. I think it's just incredible. So I'm a big Mystico fan, and even though his knees are clearly hurting every time you see him get up, but I think what he's doing is amazing. So I just want to give a little shout out. So he's my number.
I'm not bothered at all if people put Mystico over Saya. It's basically 50-50 for me. Yeah.
Also, I had Sari number 1. That's so. I mean, just to explain that quickly. So I do value the in-ring more than like a lot. I guess I weigh it kind of heavily, and we'll get onto it, but she's my most outstanding wrestler by far.
Yeah.
So, and I do think she has a pretty good drawing case with Sariism, you know, and I also credit her partially for the 5-star. That was like record breaking. I think she was kind of the star of this Stardom 5-star. So Mystico, I'd second. I kind of I don't watch CMO regularly, but I kind of watch enough to understand like how crazy their business is. I think I read something that they're doing like 41 sellouts this year or something like that, and a good year for them previously was like 3. So I think even Dave, who like loves CML, like Dave Meltzer, I think even he underreports that fact because I didn't know that. So they're just having an insane year, and I think Mystico is the main man there. So, and then I had Psycho Mentality. Yeah, go.
I was just going to say, just add one thing as well that's kind of contextual, because I know people don't watch it. We've had some people I know who've been going to shows, and when they made a mistake of putting Mystico like 3rd on the card once, and like half the arena like leaves.
Wow.
Like there's a show where like half the arena left, or another one where he was semi-main. People were leaving. He comes out to do the promo, I think, with MJF, because MJF had the main event, and the people like run back, and they're like, I think there's a guy called Chairman on the board who's just like, it's one of the craziest things you've seen, like people like running back to the seat just because he's talking. It's not even like a good, no, he's not bad promo. He's just like Mystico says Mystico things.
Yeah, I would have no issue like for anyone voting Mystico Wrestler of the Year, to be honest. And if he wins it, that kind of makes sense to me. And then I had Psycho Mentality 3rd for all the reasons we always talk about. The only thing I'm not high on her on is in-ring ability, and I think Wrestler of the Year should include a lot of in-ring ability. I think she has had a very good 2025 though. She's got a lot of really good matches this year, so I do want to say that. And I also think it's really underrated the impact Tam Nakano had on her career, and because I've seen some people maybe minimize the impact Tam Nakano has had on making her a star. I think Tam Nakano is probably more than 50% responsible for who Saya is today and how she got there. So I guess. I think Tam
have
made
you
Saya,
watched?
Absolutely.
Have you watched her interview that she her little press thing that she did afterwards?
Yeah, she called
Tim,
her
have
out,
you
right?
seen it yet? Tim, have you seen it yet?
Yeah, I mean, I read it. I don't think I've watched it, but
yeah, because it's so there was like 3 people that she talked about. Like 2 were her parents and one was Tam Nakano.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think people need. Yeah, they shouldn't minimize Tam Nakano's impact inside becoming a star, but she obviously had an amazing year, so I had to put her third. Honorable mentions, I do have to put Tam Nakano. That first quarter she had was honestly crazy, and I think if I had to pick one person responsible for the current stardom boom, it's Tam Nakano. John Moxley, I actually really liked his in-ring year this year. I think he's been kind of underrated in that. I see Alice.
I see Emmy's eyes.
I see Emmy.
Oh, she's gonna have to beat up 2 people in Japan.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's gonna beat the shit out of me in Japan. All right, let's move on from that one. Ozawa, I think Ozawa just has like a Timu Saya case, so I can't really put him in there. And Yuki Ueno, who is DDT's ace, and DDT is the 2nd best promotion in Japan this year, so I have to mention him. Most outstanding. Who wants to go first?
I'd say we do reverse order.
Cool. Okay, so my most outstanding. So sorry, I don't need to say more there. Chihiro Hashimoto is 2nd. I think she's had a great year with a lot of high-level matches. So like Maiko Satomura, Miko Iwata, Sari Yamaoka was a great match. She's had a lot of great tag matches as well. She was in Maiko's retirement match as well, which is a great match. She was in Saori and Poi's anniversary main event, which people seem to forget as well. She has great matches and house shows. Yes, Emmy.
Chihiro is that's the one that tagged with Sari in that match that I saw, right?
Yes, that's it.
Oh my god, I know another person now. Yeah.
You do, Chihiro Hashimoto, yeah. So yeah, she's my 2nd, and my 3rd is Miyu Watanabe. So I'm kind of using some of my 3rd picks strategically to put a shine on some contenders. But Miyu matches put me in a trance. I literally can't take my eyes off her. And that's something you can't rate as well. So I think she's one of the best wrestlers in the world. And then honorable mentions, I'll just fly through these. Konosuke Takeshita, Zack Sabre Jr., Tam Nakano, Starlight Kid, Azumi, Syuri, Saori Ano, Maya Iwatani, Yuko Ueno, Kazusada Higuchi, Venny, John Moxley, and Carl Fletcher. So, Alice. No, David. Wait, who was before?
David.
That was me. I've got number 1, Mascara Dorada. I think that's I love his wrestling style. He's in loads of my match of the years, and he wrestles insane quantity. So him, then Sari, and then third. I didn't really pick one. I just listed people who might be in and around. So I've got Bandito, Carl Fletcher, Starlight Kid, and Mystico. So that's my third choice.
I just put Suri, and again, I forgot that we needed 3, but honestly, any of the others, and I think I'm going to throw in Hangman just because I think that he's had a pretty good, despite the horrors and, the everything working against him, he still manages to have pretty good, I like watching him, not just because I find him a good character. I do actually like his in-ring as well. So, those 2, and then honestly, and then again, any of the others that people listed off.
I guess it's my turn. I would also say, I did have a top 3 on here. I had Hangman, I had Mercedes, and God forgive me, but I put Will Ospreay on here too.
Oh,
and
wow.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Wait, you love Will Ospreay, don't you?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
He's your secret love, right?
No, I don't think so.
I thought you loved him. Okay, continue.
No. And so, and then for honorable mentions, Bandito, Takeshita, Fletcher, Kyle Fletcher, and Tony Storm and Chris Statlander for me.
Awesome. All right, I had Tam Nakano and Sari first, Starlight Kid 2nd, and Chihiro Hashimoto 3rd.
Hell yeah.
My honorable mention again is Hangman. And at this point, I kind of want to maybe clarify for these 2 awards. Because I'm a Hangman girly at heart, I'd say.
Yes.
I blame him not being higher on these awards entirely on how he got shafted this year by the booker. So usually his ability would be there to be a top 3 most outstanding wrestler and a top 3 MVP of the year, but he just wasn't put in the position to always do that as much as like a Chihiro Hashimoto or a Starlight Kid or a Sari. So I gotta.
He wrestled like 20 matches or something crazy when I looked it up.
Yeah.
They just barely put him in matches. They barely featured him. Yeah.
It's fucking so sad. So yeah, I'm sorry. But
that is partly due to his contract, I think.
Oh really? Has he got like a dates contract?
He's got
limited
limited dates.
I think all of the Elite, that was the new contracts.
Maybe. Oh, that's because that's when they were about to jump, maybe, and then they like renegotiated. Okay, makes sense.
When they re-signed,
I start with the next one then, right? It's Tag Team of the Year. It's an easy one. It's of course Tam Nakano and Sayaka Kurara and Aya Sakura, who formed the team Sakurara. They I mean they did win the New Blood Tag Team Championships. They did win the Goddess of Stardom Tag League, so they were quite successful this year. And also they are just a huge vibes team for me. I'm just in a good mood watching them. I'm in the best mood watching them out of any thing right now, probably in wrestling. So they're clearly my tag team of the year. What do you think, Emmy?
For tag team of the year, this is. I mean, who else is it going to be for me? It's the Young Bucks. It's the Young Bucks. I love the Young Bucks. I mean, there's like 2 other tag teams that I would probably say were close this year for me, and that was Brodito and they only had 2 matches maybe together, but Swerve and Ospreay was really good. So,
yeah.
No FTR in
there? They're like my guilty pleasure. I sort of enjoy them now that they've turned heel, but I know that it's still some people still really, really hate them. And also, I'll be honest, I don't really pay that much attention. I just kind of do it like to be a contrarian. So.
Oh yeah, I love being a contrarian.
So yeah, when they're being horrible and people hate it, but they're supposed to be horrible, I'm like,
they're not that bad. Yeah.
Horrible. So
yeah.
And Cash Wheeler, every time he's like around the crowd, just makes me laugh my ass off. So it's funny.
Right. I also have the Young Bucks for the specific reason that they single-handedly renewed Jon Moxley's love of wrestling. If you remember that one photo of, I think Swerve's like laying on the ground and Mox is just looking at one of the Bucks. I think it's Matt who has his hands in the air. You can just see Mox like smile a little bit. And then right after that is when things started to pick up. Because at that point, that was like the first time this year that I stopped watching AEW for a bit and then tuned back in. So I think they deserve it for that alone. And also Broke Bucks has been the funniest ongoing plot that I think that I've seen so far in wrestling, even beyond like the Saki stuff, which Saki and Bozella, which captured my heart, but it was just hilarious to me. The way they could figure out how to do something new every week was so funny. And of course, very good wrestling. But again, this is like vibes based. I have an honorary mention of Akira and Bozilla for the sole reason that I thought their tournament was so funny. And I also love their little story arc of like, Bozilla like slowly coming to be like, okay, fine, I will like respect my teammate begrudgingly. Like, the little tiny and giant tag team always gets me. Brodito was also great for that reason too. So
awesome.
Yeah, and then mine, I'm glad Tim said it because I forgot what their actual name is when I was writing it down. So I've written down this horrible thing, which is Kurayakaka, which is my attempt at writing Sayaka and Sakura's names together. They're my number one. I think they're fantastic. So especially towards the end of the year, but all year long, really. And then I've got a load of honorable mentions. So I've got Wingori, the Young Bucks, Brodito, and then if they teamed more often, I have Riho, which is Io Sky and Rhea Ripley, and then Okada and Takeshita, which I love. I mean, I only had like one match really, but I loved it. So I wish they'd team more often. So that's not an actual serious answer. That's more just yeah, I enjoyed the one video I got of it.
Yeah, you can mention whatever you want, especially if it's an honorable mention. Fuck it. That's what this is about, right? It's just about highlighting what the best thing of the year was, right? No one's going to come after us for having out their picks. My tag team of the year is Jackie Rita, which is the Dragon Gate team. I wasn't going to vote for them just because they haven't had a lot of 2-on-2 matches. My other team was sort of like Spark Rush, which is Sareea Takumi Iroha, which has a lot of 2v2 matches. But then I was like, I just kind of want to vote for who I think is the best tag team in the world, which is a Dragon Gate team. I was thinking I should probably... It'd be more fun if I post more clips from lesser known promotions in places, just to like spread, like know about these people, because Jackie Rita are so good. I feel like no one knows about them, and they're just like hidden away in their corner of Japan. So I think we need to proliferate those things more. Honorable mentions: Spark Rush, the Astronauts, Red Energy, which is Miko Wata, Miyuki Takase, the Young Bucks, Bradido, Wingori, Los Golpeadores from Noah, and Bob Momo Banana from Sendai Girls. Oh, and then next one. So I'm doing unit of the year. Movida Loca. I mean, I'm just picking my favorite unit. I love Movida Loca. They're just for me. So I didn't really care that they haven't had a lot of title success. And then honorable mention is Love and Peace from Dragon Gate.
Yeah, so I forgot to write an answer for this one. So off the top of my head, I'll have to go with, of course, the faction that dominated the year, the three-man power trip, John Cena, The Rock, and Travis Scott.
Mein Gott.
No, my answer is Cosmic Angels, I think.
Hell yeah.
For me. So that's what I'm going to go with.
Arisu?
All right, I also have Movida Loca because, again, same reason. I just find them so much fun. Just, again, like everything they do is just so entertaining. And I think I also have honorary mention for the Don Callis family on account of just the comedy, like sitcom vibes that they're like potentially on. I don't know if this is intentional, and it does not matter, but like the sitcom slow like breakdown of like all of them coming out, the paintings, everything about it is just so comical. And they just, Don Callis is learning that perhaps accumulating so many guys is going to maybe, blow up in his face. It's been hilarious. Amy?
I also picked the Don Callis family. They've really grown on me as a faction unit, what have you, throughout the year. Like I genuinely started the year despising them, and by the end of the year, I'm just like, yeah, those are my big strong studs over there. So I think Takeshita and Okada especially, like being in that group together has really helped like give the faction something to do, besides just be like big scary men that dominate the undercard. So I really appreciate them. And honestly, I don't even really hate Don Callis anymore. So yeah, I love it here. I love them a lot.
Awesome. Yeah, it's Cosmic Angels for me. I don't think I have to really explain much about that. Yeah, David.
Do you have any honorable mentions?
No, actually, not at all.
Just Cosmic Angels, move on.
It's just Cosmic Angels. I mean, I do love Movida Loca too.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, but I'm gonna move on with my feud rivalry of the year. Obviously, it's Tam Nakano and Saya Kamitani. I don't even wanted to pick like another one for my Tarn rule. This is just without any real competition for me. Maybe a shout out to an underrated one between Aya Sakura and Hanako, which I've been enjoying a lot throughout the second half of the year. But obviously, Tam and Saya is the winner. So yeah, what about you, Emmy?
So I said, because it's feud/rivalry, I said AEW versus the Death Riders, but post April to July, because everything before that and everything after that kind of sucked for me. But I did also want to make the point that there probably should be a best partnership of the year, because It's not necessarily, I wouldn't say this is a feud or even like enemies or romance or platonic or anything of that nature. Just anything, any kind of relationship really, because Hangman and Swerve probably deserve that award. Me personally, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
I think that counts as a feudal rivalry, right?
I think they count as a rivalry even when they're on the same team, kind of.
Kind of feuding.
I don't really call it a rivalry though anymore because the whole point was them like coming together as opposed to actually like butting heads. But yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Right. I have Hangman and Mox. I mean, it's technically like the Death Riders and stuff, but just the way that was built in such a, like, again, I was seriously thinking, I was like, okay, well, I'll go fly down because I already have my tickets because I want to meet everyone. But I was like seriously having doubts about like the quality of the show that I was going to see, you know, if that was going to be Mox and Darby in that main event or whatever we could have ended up with if Darby hadn't decided to climb Everest, or, you know, if a series of events hadn't happened. But the way that was built and sort of, I think, again, Trish from the Trish and Sarah pod, like she described it as like a coronation, like the feeling, because they were basically they were all but telling you he's going to win, buy your tickets now, but never in a way that felt, you know, like too contrived. Like just the way it was built up was just really good. And the final, like the moment of, you know, Hangman finally triumphing and then nothing else happened after that, was so perfect. Yeah.
I've got Tam versus Saya. It's especially the phenomenal match for the whole thing. It's been my favorite thing of all of my watching history and it's not even close. Most moved by anything I've been. So nothing's close for me. So it's number one. No second choices.
So I picked something different because obviously it is Tam Nakano and Saya Kamitani, but I was like, what is my favorite feud on Rivalry of the Year? What makes me the happiest? And it's Senko Akatsuki versus Seri Yamaoka. Okay, this is my favorite thing in wrestling, bar none. I've talked people's ears off with this, so I think most people listening know about it. If you don't know about it, then listen to the Monday Magic episode 1 review, which we did on episode 5, and how I just drool over the match for about 20 minutes. But yeah, so that's my personal favorite. But Tam Nakano and Saya Kamitani is obviously the best thing ever. Hangman and Mox, I think, was straight after that. I thought that feud was fucking awesome. I love the match as well, which we'll talk to when we go to matches of the year. Kaito Kiyomiya and Nozawa, Marigold versus Marvelous in general, I thought was really well done. Suri versus Syuri, and then a nice ribbon favorite. I have to do it for the sickos. Minami Katsu versus Misa Kagura. And then promotion of the year. I mean, Stardom. I'll do honorable mentions.
Sorry.
Yeah,
so definitively, I thought you were like,
yeah. So Stardom and then honorable mentions because maybe it's not mentioned enough, and I kind of want to put the name out there. DDT, I think, had the second best year in Japan, and more people should be talking about DDT as one of the promotions of the year, and then CMLL.
Yeah, and just CMLL for me.
Yeah. Also, I picked Stardom as well. So
nice.
Indoctrinated, complete.
For my pick in this category, so I put not WWE or AEW.
I was wondering what you were going to do for this.
Yeah.
Which is crazy considering that beautiful show that I got to see in July. It's just I'm not happy right now. It's 4 or 5 months later, 6 months later, and I'm not happy. So I can't even give it to AEW because I'm not okay. I'm not okay with it. So yeah.
You can always say DDT.
No.
Just,
I was thinking about DDT when Eric brought it up, because every single time that I've read the DDT recaps in the newsletter, I'm so happy, and I have no idea what's happening, and I'm just like, this is amazing. It's got to be the greatest promotion on earth, and I gotta start watching it. So.
Amen. Well, you're going to see it live on 5th of January.
Yes, I am.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
No, it's perfectly reasonable. It's Stardom for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, tournament of the year. So I was thinking about this, right? So obviously the 5-star was great. But I still had quite some qualms with it, like with the format and everything. I stand by that. Even if the tournament itself turned out great, I still think it would have been even better with a better format. So I said fuck it and said give it to Cinderella because Sayaka Kurara won and it was amazing and it was perfectly booked. And the only blemish on it is that Sayaka Kurara fucked up her wish and wished for a useless red belt match instead of wishing Tam back.
About all that. I forgot about that whole fucking storyline where everyone thought she was going to use her wish to bring Tam back.
Yeah.
She doesn't care about
Yeah.
But yeah, the tournament itself, I was very happy when Kurara won, so that's I give it to that one. Honorable mention, of course, the 5-star. And the tag league. You know what? The tag league. Kurara won that one too. Maybe that was also the best tournament. I don't know. Wait, maybe it was. Nah, I give it to Cinderella. Anyway, you go, Emmy. C2 was. No, what's the other one? Owen. Owen, I also enjoyed.
I forgot that was a tournament.
Why are you stealing my pick, Tim?
I mean, I wouldn't even say that as tournament of the year, even considering the way that, you know, Hangman's storyline was furthered by it and, you know, that awesome match that it ended with. But I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of tournaments, and I wouldn't even call it like best tournament of the year, but mainly just because I don't care about tournaments. But I am happy about that outcome, so I guess that would probably be my pick, is the Owen. Yeah, I guess I put NA because I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, that's
when
fine.
I was doing it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You don't need to pick for everything. That's fine.
Right. I have the Stardom Tag Team Tournament just because.
Hell yeah.
Again, I also just with tournaments, it's really hit or miss for me, and that was the first one where I watched I think I was watching every show, I think basically all matches, and really following along and trying to learn who everyone was and all the little storylines with Saki and Shuri with that they every single match they did something different, and it was always funny and good. And then again, Akira and Bazilla with their little shenanigans and all that. So that was really fun. And I think honorable mention, I think I will give actually to the Owen purely for the end. That's just it. It's okay, you know what? Mm-hmm. The point of a tournament is to crown a winner. Got a winner. The women's was also pretty good. I also liked Mercedes in that, mostly because I just liked the show because the vibes were so high. So yeah, that's my two.
You know, listening to you speak, I didn't know what the Owen was in my head. In my head, that's the number one contenders tournament, right? Is that Will Hangman at the end?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the number one to pick. It's the one to pick All In, and they do a men's and a women's. So the All In world title match at All In. That's what it's for.
Yeah. And for some reason, I divorced it from the Owen Hart thing in my head. I just was thinking of it as a great standalone thing. Yeah, no, that's an awesome pick. So my pick is, and the Latinos here might be able to help. Torneo de Escuelas, is that ESCUELAS?
Torneo de Escuelas.
Isn't Escuelas school?
Yes. Huh? I love this tournament because what CMLL do is they get loads of random local talent from different cities or areas of Mexico City often, and they put them all in this tournament with absolutely absurd elimination rules, culminating in a 3v3 cities elimination match. And they just tell them to go out there and do all of their crazy stuff to get over. And basically, whoever does great not only wins but gets a job. Or Mexico City always wins. It's rigged, so of course it's Mexico City.
It's interesting.
But it's just the most fun thing ever. I love some years it can be terrible because you can get people who don't know what they're doing. But this year they had an abundance of excellent people, and it was just the most fun I've had watching anything. And I had a rough idea who was going to win, but you don't know who was going to eliminate who. So it was absolutely wild. So I'd recommend anyone check that out. It's from early in the year. Other than that, I agree with what everyone else has said. 5-star Stardom Tag. I love both of those. Another one I enjoyed. Now you guys might correct me. I thought because I might be just remembering the key matches and maybe the whole tournament wasn't very good. But I thought the tournament to determine the AEW Tag Team Champions was pretty good. The one where Bradito became a face. Do you disagree? No, okay.
I was jokingly gonna mention that because it didn't have a winner. They did a draw in the finals, which is just absurd for the.
So then winning the belt wasn't the final, because I don't watch the TV. So I just, when people say there's a good match, I watch the matches, and I felt like I watched loads of them. But,
was there another tag team tournament? Maybe that was the one that ended in the UK, and then we saw the title match at Forbidden Door, which was then a freeway title match. Yeah, because they had a draw in the tournament finals.
This was in the Hurt Syndicate. This is when the Hurt Syndicate exited the building rather than losing directly, because they have like a problem where they can't like lay like directly on their backs, because that would that's just not allowed. So they just kind of walked home.
Yeah,
that's how that match. And then it was like FTR Brodito. So that's what happened.
So my memory is just bad then. I just thought I remembered loads of good Brodito tags coming along and the momentum behind them. But if that's how the tournament structure played out, that sounds horrific.
Well, I'm glad we gaslighted you into hating that tournament.
I think they just had loads of nice matches just on TV.
Banger.
Just without the tournament. Just
you know what? I probably didn't watch.
They worked a lot on TV.
Syndicate in, so I probably just saw other matches. But this seems pretty good.
You probably just saw good matches.
Yeah.
Cool. So mine is the 5-star. Honorable mention. I do think the Owen Hart tournament is actually underrated. I think it was better than every single tournament in Japan that I can think of, except the 5-star. And even then, it's kind of close. I think it had stakes. I think every match was important in the Owen Hart. They didn't hold back on any matchups.
Yeah.
So if I think people forget, the Will Ospreay Takeshita match happened in the Owen Hart on that episode of Dynamite, Spring Breakthrough, which is one of the best episodes of Dynamite ever. That episode also had Athena and Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné in the Owen Hart for Women's. That tournament is sick. I think it's like the peak in terms of like in-ring and stuff like that. I think even more than All In, the Owen Hart tournament I enjoyed. Emmy, you actually spoke about it on your podcast, that you were more like nervous and apprehensive for Hangman going up against Will Ospreay leading up to the final than you were against him going against Mox. And I kind of agree with that. Like, it's such a cool story they told that Ospreay was the biggest challenge for Hangman, because that Ospreay is kind of like the guy, like everyone thinks of him as the guy. So it was like super 50-50. And I thought it was like the fact that Tony could have picked either one on the day of. I think it's kind of rare that you get that in wrestling nowadays. So I really love that aspect as well. So just wanted to shout out that tournament. And then the other honorable mention is the Tokyo Princess Cup, which had just a lot of bangers for me, including one of my top 5 matches of the year in Shoko and Miyu Watanabe. Right, speaking of match of the year. So the winner is obviously Tam Saya for me. I am not sure if there's another match that's going to top that in the next decade, maybe. I wept like a baby, and I don't do that, so I don't know if anything's gonna hit that again, and I really wish it will. So let's see. And if you guys don't mind, I want to do a quick sicko shout out. Okay, so I'm just gonna mention a bunch of matches, and then we can move on. So just for the nerds, these are matches that I rated like 4.75 or 5. Okay, so I'm just gonna speed through them. So Tam Saya I mentioned, Suri Suri 2, Hashimoto and Suri in November, Miyu Watanabe and Shoko Nakajima in August. Those are my 5-star matches. So there's 4 matches there. And then these are the rest for the 4.75 matches. So Adam Page and Jon Moxley, I think that match is awesome. And I don't get the complaints about it. It's just perfect. Gabe Kidd and Kenny Omega, Mariah May and Toni Storm. I remember just watching that match with glee, the Mariah May Toni Storm. You don't like the May Toni Storm one, Emmy?
No.
Sorry, she's putting a face for the listeners.
The face was when you said that somebody had problems with Hangman versus Mox.
Yeah, you might not have heard. Yeah,
don't worry about it.
The Darby Allin from the ceiling, people absolutely hate that spot because it's like, why is he like playing a video before he makes his entrance?
I forgot that happened. That happened. And I was there.
So...
Exactly, it's not even like an important part of the match.
Yeah.
The craziest part of that match to me is the fork. Oh no, there's 2 things. One is the fork. 2 is Jon Moxley tapping out. I think is the best tap out. I think it's This is my second favorite finish of 2025, and it's the best tap out I've seen probably ever. Like the way Jon Moxley's fucking panicking while he's getting choked is perfect. So yeah, can't fault it. El Desperado and Jun Kasai, Suri and Suri won. Goto and Zack Sabre Jr. won. Mayu Iwatani and Suri. The Monday Magic 6-man between Marvelous and Marigold. Saya and Tam won. Masaki Mochizuki and Yamato. Mei Seira and Suzu Suzuki. And then Saori Ano and Tam Nakano. And then that's the end of my 4.75s. Okay. David.
All right. Yeah. I just had a look back at what I did a little top 10 a while ago, and I don't think anything's changed in it, so I just went with that. So I've got, Sai and Tam number 1, it's easy for me. Then I've got Mystico versus everyone here's favorite MJF. Then I've got Shuri versus Sari 2, Shuri versus Sari 1, Zack versus Goto, the title change. Sorry, they're both title changes. The title change for Goto winning. The International GP and CMLL. Yo versus Kosei Fujita. Omega v Kid. Io Sky v Bianca Belair v Rhea Ripley, and then Neon v Mascara Dorada. That's my 10. So yeah, I know which one Eric doesn't like, but
no, that's perfectly okay. That was great. Thanks, David.
Yeah, I also would it shock you to learn that I also have Tam Saya on there, Tam Saya, and then again I have Hangman Mox. Also, I was there live, so you know. And then I put Hangman Ospreay as like the third one that I had, but I think I would also pick like either Tony Mariah or Tony and then Mercedes, just because again I think those two, especially like being in the stadium for Tony and Mercedes and seeing like how invested the crowd was and like how big that moment felt was just really great. And then Hangman Ospreay, I didn't watch that live. I was driving back from my aunt's while my brother was playing a tennis podcast in the car, and I was like scrolling the Discord live chat because the result would depend. Like, you know, if I'd watch it, the result, like that's what mattered to me. And then I saw the results, and then I went to bed, and then I woke up the next morning and then watched the show like on the big TV instead of, you know, on my phone, and that was really great. So yeah.
So
cool.
Pretty much on any given day of this year, post All In, my match of the year is either Hangman Mox or Hangman Ospreay, and it just depends on the day because I don't know. I like you said, like you brought up because of the Owen Cup that apparently I also said this on my own podcast that I don't remember. Yeah, like the stakes were. The stakes were so high, and like you just literally on the edge of my seat didn't know what to do, like, didn't know what was gonna happen, you know, and just hoping against hope that it was gonna be Hangman. So that match with Ospreay is really important and really really good. But then also I was there for Hangman Mox, and Hangman Mox is literally, I cannot stress enough, their relationship has always been so important to me as a wrestling fan since I started watching AEW in 2019. Like I started watching AEW when it first started, and I told myself Hangman versus Mox is gonna be a banger when it happens. And the first time it happened wasn't until like 3 years later, and then I got another one in like my home state in the biggest show ever, and my guy won, and it was the best thing ever. So I don't know which one, you know. But like other than those two, which would probably be like the top for me, I also said Mercedes versus Tony, and then Swerve and Ospreay versus the Bucks too, because I just that's such a, it's a tag team classic. Like I don't know what else to say, and I completely forgot that the Hollywood ending happened this year, so that would also be one of my top, matches of the year for sure. Yeah.
All right, it's me then. I wrote down my top 3. It's Tam Nakano and Sayaka Mitani, of course, the second one. I would technically put the first one up there too, but for the purpose of this list, I did Shuri and Sari 1. No, actually, I put Kenny and Gabe as my number 2 because I was there live in the Tokyo Dome and it was just a once in a lifetime experience. The atmosphere, the fucking crowd, the wrestling, the superhuman performance from Kenny on that night. It was just all perfect and all magical. And could only be beaten by Tam Saya if I'm being honest with myself. And then I put Shuri Sari 1 as my third pick, which I'm like the...
You're a one enjoyer.
Yeah, I'm like the outlier. Most people enjoy the number 2 better. I liked number 1 better.
I actually, as a match, kind of prefer 1. I just like that 2 has an ending, and the ending, like I remember feeling like super like emotional and invested when the ending happened. So I actually agree in terms of content, I prefer 1, but like in terms of
yes,
because I don't go back and rewatch things much, so just the feeling of watching it 2 was a bit higher for me. But I kind of
I totally understand that too. I get that I'm the outlier. I mean, the second one is right up there. Second one is probably my number 5 or something. So it's not like I didn't like the second one or anything. Just I slightly prefer the first one because I really like in the moment that was like such an amazing match to me. Everything in that match clicked and was just perfectly done. Told a perfect story to me, and yeah, that's why I prefer it slightly. Either way, our next award is for Show of the Year. It's pretty easily All-Star Grand Queendom, April 27. Yeah, what do you think, Emmy? I think I know what you think, but
it's all in Texas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was there live. I saw my special little guy win, the AEW World Men's World Championship. I got to see him pull it out of the briefcase. I got to see him the day before. Like I got to see him beat Mox. And I mean, I forgot to say this earlier, but he's the reason I started watching AEW. So everything it all came full circle. It's important to me. It's a great show, despite everything else that happened later. Yeah.
Yeah, I also have All In, just because again I was also there, and I got to see everyone be in that crowd, and it's the live event bump. Even though like thinking back, it's like not. I could go, okay, well, there's definitely some matches on the card where I was in the concourse eating mac and cheese, not watching the Hurt Syndicate do whatever they were doing. But just the whole feeling and the way the show was built to, like the way it was structured was actually like pretty, like it was like 6 hours long. It did not feel that long, which is what you want. And I think for like a big stadium show, like it hit like the points it was supposed to hit, and it ended on the best one, like on the best possible moment that we could all have. So yeah, and then also I will say, like obviously honorary mention to like All-Star Grand Queendom but like again, like I wasn't like emotionally invested yet, and then also I didn't watch it like live or all in one go. So I think if I had that like that investment at the time, I think I would have it like probably like much closer or on the same level as All In, but it's definitely up there. I don't really have a third. Double or Nothing. I liked that one mostly because of, again, the ending.
Yeah, and it's just All-Star Grand Queendom for me. Like an incredible card, top to bottom. I mean, like I won't go into it too much because obviously the ending's the best bit. But like, I mean, like May versus Suzu's like absolutely incredible, and that's like halfway down the card or like right in the middle. Yeah, amazing event. So I won't say more because we're quite late into the podcast. But yeah, can't see past All-Star Grand Queendom.
We're just getting started. We haven't even hit the 4-hour mark yet. Don't you worry, David. This is like
what you want that extra quiz question and get around to it? Is that what you're
No, I do have quite a bit of awards left here. Yeah.
Do we? Yeah, we do. All right. Yeah, we do. All right.
We're gonna get it. It's all right.
All-Star Dream Queendom has 3 of my top 16 matches out of a lot of matches. Honorable mentions: Poi Sari's 10th anniversary, DDT Dramatic Infinity in September, TJPW Live in Dallas, Stardom Korakuen Hall 20th of August, the block finals, amazing show, and then Marigold Gold Grand Destiny. Book of the Year, Terra Okada. Honorable mentions: whoever books DDT.
Yeah, so I've got so tough because they kind of do the same things really well. So I've got the CMLL committee, whoever it is, and Tara Okada, because they're both great at elevating new people. CMLL, I think, are even better at it, but like Stardom storylines, I enjoy a bit more. So whoever you want, Tara, I'll back whoever's going to get more points in the actual Observer Award, and I'll help them.
Booker of the Year, Arisi?
Oh yeah, also Tara Okada. You know,
Oh.
Gotta give it to him.
Completely indoctrinated her. It's awesome.
I mean, who else?
Tony Khan, actually. So. No, I'm joking. Emmy?
Yeah, so for me, my answer for Booker of the Year was not Tony Khan or Triple H.
I was expecting that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sensible.
You could give your vote to Evil Uno for Mystery Wrestling. Just saying.
That's true. I choose Evil Uno.
Evil Uno.
Awesome.
There we go.
I choose Taro Okada. Obviously. Right. Rookie of the Year. I put down here Senka Akatsuki. And yeah. Seiji Yamaoka is up there for me. I don't really have any of the male rookies because I don't really watch the promotions. I'm not a Dragon Gate guy or anything. Yeah, I stick with Senka. I like her a bit more than Seiri. So up to you, Emmy. Do you have a rookie?
I think that Eric has enough rookies for all of us.
All right.
Have you seen my notes?
No. I just know you.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Thing I also have to do there's like, in terms of like how you define rookie, I don't know, probably Senka, just because I think she's fun. So I think she's just neat. And then yeah, that's it actually. Again, Eric's gonna have a list.
I might do. David?
Yep.
So for some mild variety, I picked Seri Yamuka. I think they're very close. Senka I kind of actually prefer as being, I think she's more fun, but I think Seri's like a total package in every way. I think she's incredible. Legit, kind of got some like star quality in different ways of presenting herself in different media. I just think she's fantastic, and she complements Senka. So Seri's my pick.
My pick is whoever wins Senka versus Seiri Yamaoka on the 28th of December, and I'll be there live and in a singles match. So whoever wins that match will be my Rookie of the Year. My honorable mentions. So these are basically my standouts from the good category of the Joshi'ing Around Rookie Tier List, trademarked. So the first one is whoever loses Senka versus Seiri Yamaoka would be my second pick. Then it's Daiki Odashima in Noah, Hamare from Dragon Gate, Shan from Diana. So she debuted in June 2024, but it's my list and she has under 50 matches. So I'm putting her up there. And then there's a bit of a gap. And then we have Anri from Actress Girls, Chika from Evo, Celine Mizora, whoop whoop, Akira Kurigane from Stardom, Kirari Wakana from Ice Ribbon, Shota Kafuji from Osaka Style Wrestling All Japan, Shino from Marigold, and Yuka Yamazaki from Marigold. Then the next category is Most Improved. Yeah, a lot of my picks are just from Stardom and Marigold, which kind of says something because they have like super young, deep rosters, so they tend to go all out, and it's easier to see the gains in the wrestlers. So my most improved is Hina, and then honorable mentions to Yuzuki, Ryoseto, Rina, Shino Suzuki from TJPW, and Nagisa Tachibana. David.
Okay, so my next pick, I don't think anyone else is going to have. So I've got Trick Williams, who I think went from, I think he's amazing, so Eric's going to be annoyed. I think he went from being unable to have even a 2-star match with Carmelo, and I think he's quite good now. So Eric disagrees. You listeners can't see his face. He's very
no. I think that's a perfectly sensible pick, David. That makes a lot of sense. Thanks for that contribution, David. Arisu?
I had Bozilla just because I think like she went from being someone I was just like, oh, how is she gonna like throw someone horribly on their head now? Which I mean, it's not like that was like common, but it was one of those things where you can kind of just tell how now at this point I'm just like, great, she's so much fun. You know, I just again she's gone from someone I didn't care about or like kind of disliked to someone I like actively enjoy and look forward to seeing. So you know,
great pick. Yeah, Emmy.
Okay, so I may have interpreted this a bit differently because first of all, I left it blank at first, but now I've got some ideas in my head. So I took it one way. For most improved of the year, I would say like most improved in my eyes in terms of like how I feel about the wrestler. And so I would probably pick Megan Bayne for that. Because like I didn't really like her at the start, and now I really enjoy her
She's awesome.
when she's in the ring and just, you know, her presence on the roster. And then for most improved, I also thought about presentation, and I would say probably Chris Statlander, because now that she's champ, she's really like pushed her game a lot more in terms of that department. Because and also in promos too, because I feel like she's really trying, you know, to elevate herself and her title. So I think it's really good. Yeah, very improved.
Right. I'm agreeing with Eric on this one. I also have Hina as my number one. Actually, Alice also made a great point. Like, Mozilla did improve for me personally a lot, because I honestly couldn't stand her when she first came in, and now I really like watching her. Like, that might have also had different reasons why I couldn't really stand her, but yeah, she really improved in my eyes. I also got down Miku Kanai. I think she just objectively improved a ton during the year. She does a lot more and is a lot more confident than she was at the start. She was just like the literal, like, just ball of underdog nothing who just got beat up for half an hour in every match. And
what was it that Arisu called her? An angry attack cat? Was it?
Yeah. It's a tiny little murder cat.
Murder cat, that was it.
Yeah. And just like with murder in her eyes as she's thrown towards her enemies.
Yeah, exactly.
And also I wanted to shout out Hanako. I think she improved a ton. And also I think Sayaka Kurata actually improved a lot throughout the year.
I was just going to say my other two, because I got distracted by her extraction. My other two choices were going to be Hina and Yuya Uemura. I think has come on a lot as a kind of top level star act. So that was my other.
Sorry for
distracted. Eric just cut you off and sent it to Alice.
Well, I kind of thought he was going to say Blake Monroe next, so I just wanted to cut him off, to be honest.
I think Blake sucks, though.
I'll just
more on that to come, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no!
All right, time for some fun awards. Meme of the year, Tim.
Meme of the year. What do you think?
What do I think? The Tam
Memorial.
Was it her being ran? Oh, is it Memorial? What is it exactly?
This is the tongue doll. When Tam Nakano made the doll with the long tongue, that she always cut the tongue off because she wanted to cut Saya's tongue off. She made a little voodoo doll for Saya, essentially. Which I'm wearing the shirt right now, which is the break. I was showing it to the camera. Also, like, the entire, like, everything they did, Saya Kamitani stalker attacks were just funny shit. Another honorable mention, I don't really want to take it away from Emmy, so I leave it to her. What do you think, Emmy?
He's guessing that you're going to say this, Emmy. Come on.
I was actually going to say when Mercedes went through the cake after she pushed Minnie Monet into it.
Oh yeah, that's good too.
Did I miss something? Because I have a bad brain, so you should just tell me what you thought I was going to say.
My honorable mention was Leaves His Plants, dumbass.
Yeah. That was last year, though.
Was it? I wrote that. I wrote in brackets, was Leaves His Plants this year, ? In my honorable mentions.
It was when he first started using Blue Sky in November, September.
Yeah, because I thought he started using it again this year, but was that end of last year? Okay. Yeah, okay, never mind then.
2024.
Okay. You know it better. For sure.
All right, I don't think anyone's going to pick this one, but it's the ongoing London Lightning saga and Mystery Wrestling, because they have a thing where London Lightning lost a loser leaves town match, and then he lost that, and then it went to intermission. Except what actually happened is a 20-minute video played of him getting thrown out of the venue with like a little bindle, dressed in his wrestling gear, and he proceeded to wander the streets of Gatineau, Quebec, dressed like in his wrestling gear with like a cameraman following him. And he like tries to like get a bike from a kid. He can't. He like tries to like he gets into like what he thinks is an Uber. It's kind of heavily implied that like they're just driving him wherever. He ends up at a Tim Hortons. They kick him out because he's not wearing pants. And then he's just kind of, and the cameraman's like, I gotta go. Like I'm gonna be like beyond the signal of the venue, and like leaves him. And then it cuts to like a month later, he has a job as a forklift certified employee at like the local hardware store as he's like slowly having an existential breakdown, and all of his friends are like, yeah, now that he does, it goes on and on. Like, and so every like Mystery Wrestling show, they'll play these at the intermission, like fully produced. I'm like, how are they filming in the back of like a Rona with like a forklift? Like, this is like an indie, like a tiny little indie with like 300 people max in the building if you violate the fire code. Not that they do that, of course. So anyway, I've been really enjoying that. Like,
do you remember when he was a cop?
I haven't seen that one yet. I've been, because I was like sick when that one came out. I think I need to catch up. But no, like again, every single time they just keep filming these like really intricate videos of what's been going on with him. That's not even getting into the time travel, which I was there for. So yeah, that's been my like that. I think that was last year actually, but that's been like my ongoing thing that I've really enjoyed.
I need to watch
David?
Mystery Wrestling.
It is so good.
I've got a few of these because I had them in the wrong category, and I realized they fall into this category because it's got segment, promo, and interview at the end. So I don't know, in no particular order, my absolute favorite probably is having won the IWGP title, Sari deciding to go and pay homage at the Antonio Inoki's grave.
That's a good one.
That was awesome.
Just incredible imagery and like, it's real to me, damn it, kind of stuff. Then we've got Micah's return, as Eric discussed very brilliantly the other week. That was fantastic. Again, probably another one of my personal favorites, which is Konami kicking the absolute shit out of Hanan while "Wish You Happy Girl Sunshine" is playing in the background.
Oh my god, yeah,
that's a good one.
From this past week, I love the Saya jump scare where Sari's just getting ready to drive a car, and Saya's face just comes into the camera. If you've seen that, I love that. I'll get through these quickly. I've got Rianne dropping herself on her head repeatedly. Brackets that entire match with Mio Hamasaki. Incredible. This is more of a sweet one. It's Saya went on her Love It talk show and said that her favorite mascot was this weird thing with goofy teeth. Big green monster that she used to get bullied at school, and everyone called her that. But she kind of loved the mascot because of that, because she saw it herself. And now people give her, in a nice way, at matches, the mascot, but done up with her makeup and her hair. And it's kind of sweet, but also weird, because it's kind of like, oh, here's your bully mascot, but done up as you. So it's nice. I like it. I think it's great. And then the last one is Sari Anu's ability to find the camera when she's lying flat on her back and just take all these incredible shots looking into camera. I think
she's a pro though.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing, but it's incredible. Like the best photos of the year are always her at the end of the matches. So there's a few. There's probably more, but those are the ones that came to my mind.
Yeah, mine are all DDT. So Kazuki Hirata and Antonio Honda singing "Let It Go" when Hirata was returning from injury. So Hirata just comes back from injury, and he doesn't do like his Tokyo Go entrance where he's doing his dance. He just comes back super serious, and then everyone's like, "What's he doing? Why is he not dancing?" And he's like, he's like warming up, ready to fight, and everyone's like, "Why is he taking this seriously?" And then Antonio Honda slowly brings out Kazuki Hirata, and just they do a Frozen duet together. And then finally Hirata puts on the glasses and does his Tokyo Go dance. So that's probably my favorite. Poketan, who's a big fluffy mascot, doing a blade job against Yoshihiko, who's the sex doll. That was awesome. So they like stuck some red velvet material on his forehead. It was just amazing. Kazuki Hirata and Yoshihiko doing again the sex doll, doing a press conference before their title match. So all of my moments are basically Poketan, Yoshihiko, or Kazuki Hirata. So there you go. All right, now we're on to the worst categories, which I think we don't want to spend too much time talking about worst things. Maybe we do. Worst wrestler of the year is my most wanted list, I'm calling it. So number 1 is a wrestler called Amazon. So she hadn't wrestled in Seedling since 2023. She came back. I had never seen her before, so I was giving her the benefit of the doubt. And I can't explain to you, I don't have the words to describe to you the visual diarrhea I was experiencing. She did 3 matches, and then she fucked off again. I think I don't know why she's there, but yeah, she's one of the reasons why the top of the seed card is so bad. And then honorable mentions, which is explicitly in descending most wanted order. So most wanted as in should be in jail. Not that I most want them. So Odyssey is at the top of the list. He does have domestic violence allegations, so maybe he should be in actual jail. Saki, she's ruined Pure J for me. Megaton, fuck Chiaki, Jey Uso. I don't even hate Jey Uso. He just sucks. Yuri, fuck Yuri, and then the last 2, Natsu Sumire and Toto Osatsuki.
Wow. Yuri, I thought that's a bit harsh putting her in, but all right.
I expected Ruaka there, but
nah, Ruaka's whatever.
Okay.
All right, it's me, isn't it? I just have 2, which is very specifically heel John Cena especially when he has to get the heat for sometimes 10 to 15 minutes at a time. And then I'm never sure how to say her name correctly. Zeuxis from CMLL. I think she
Zeuxis,
yeah. Bad matches. Yeah. No. That's it for me. Just those 2.
Hook. It's Hook. End of sentence.
All right.
Awesome.
For me, I did so. I want to preface this by saying I didn't have a worst wrestler of the year until last night.
Ooh.
So I put MJF because that's how angry I am.
That's acceptable.
I didn't even put Samoa Joe on here as worst wrestler of the year because I didn't see him wrestle enough times to merit that. But I did see MJF wrestle, and I did see him talk too much throughout this year, even though he was absent for so much of it. But I legitimately cannot stand this motherfucker right now. So that's it. Yeah.
Yes. My worst wrestler of the year. I didn't put this after yesterday. I put this 2 weeks ago. It's MJF.
He didn't even need to see the fucking return.
He's
Tim knew. Tim predicted it.
Tim knew.
Yeah. I just feel vindicated, if anything.
Tim.
Yes.
Are you about to move on to the next category?
Not yet. I was gonna give a little bit of a reasoning because I could, of course, like just pick fucking Ruaka or whatever, just a random bad wrestler who I don't enjoy in the ring. I think MJF transcends all of that. He's not a bad wrestler in the objective sense. He knows how to do a promo theoretically without like stumbling over his words or whatever. I think MJF's terribleness is like it transcends all of that. It's just his entire being and his ability to make everything suck that he's involved in, and his creative instincts are fucking the worst in the world. He's like, he has this generational terribleness that only has like a Jeff Jarrett had this, maybe a Triple H, Hulk Hogan, this type of terribleness that just ends wrestling enjoyment for me more than just a bad wrestler who can't really do much in the ring. If it's straight for in-ring wrestler, and if I take away the WWE rule that I made earlier, I would have also mentioned Dominic Mysterio. But that's just like because he's the worst in-ring wrestler I saw this year. But it's not even like really wrestling or anything, so that's just it's MJF. It's not close. So David, you wanted to? I would move on now.
I thought this might be the one chance where we might have me, you, and Eric all have the same answer. We might not, but I was wondering if we do 1, 2, 3 worst unit and see if we say the same thing.
We won't have the same answer.
Oh, we don't.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay. In that case, don't worry. I put Darkness Revolution. I thought it was a runaway slam dunk.
It's pretty up there. It's pretty up there.
That's a good one, actually. I put Hurt Syndicate.
Oh, yeah. I don't watch it enough to for them to bother me. I just see the pay-per-views and they're only one match.
Yeah, I think the Hurt Syndicate MJF storyline was by far the worst thing I've seen all year in any promotion. That's worse than anything Darkness Revolution can do, because they're just like inoffensive, stupid heels who do shitty offense that doesn't really click or anything. But it's not like promotion destroying like the Hurt Syndicate MJF stuff is, and they refuse to lose. It's MJF is no, what's the other guy? MVP. MVP is terrible.
The other guy. 3 letters,
the
both
other guy
suck.
with 3 letters. Nah, it's Hurt Syndicate. What do you think, Emmy?
I forgot they existed, so I put the Ops. Because I'm also mad at
they're
them
your
right
Ops.
now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair too. Like the fucking Fight Club guys, they have no or whatever.
The Hurt Syndicate and the Ops. Those are my worst units of the year.
Fair.
Yeah, those are also mine, because I also forgot that the Hurt Syndicate existed, because I do my best to avoid watching any of their stuff. But now I'm thinking of the fact that Ricochet had to babysit them for months this year, and he couldn't do anything else other than be trapped in this Hurt Syndicate vortex to stop them from going and, interacting with other wrestlers, I guess. Oh my God.
He could have been fighting Hangman.
He literally could have been fighting Hangman. Like, that was the thing, is like he could have been, because if you remember, like the Swerve Ricochet feud was great, right? Like, and then Swerve Briscoe, like he can do good work in AEW. He has, and he was on babysitting duty for months and months and months, and it was so bad. But their match at All In did allow me to go get some mac and cheese brisket, or brisket mac and cheese, whatever, and chat with Emmy and friends for a bit. So you know what? They're not all bad. Oh, also got to buy some merch at All Out during their match and walk around the concourse. So that was also nice. That's the 2 good things they've done this year, is give me a nice break from the show. So, I think I will rank them below the Ops, because the Ops have just ruined AEW for me. Yeah, okay.
So yeah, I have Darkness Revolution as my number 1, but maybe they should be my number 2, because my honorable mention is House of Torture, particularly sub-evil, and in particular this year, because they suck every year. But this year was really, really bad, because they had the return of Doki, who was hugely beloved, absolutely beloved, and he broke his. I don't know what he broke, but he hurt himself in the most tragic way on the biggest stage in a match that was expected to be the best.
Elbow, yeah.
It was expected to be probably the best or second best match on the show, and it just got completely ruined by a freak injury. So he's coming back as a returning hero, and they immediately stick him in House of Torture.
That was insane, actually.
It's like literally the worst. I mean, I know you guys might disagree, but I always thought the worst booking was making Jungle Boy a heel after the CM Punk stuff. But I think this is similar. Like, what are you doing? This is like a natural top babyface position.
Mm-hmm.
You made him the most boring type of heel and taken away his main attribute, which is wrestling. So yeah, those are my 2. And I'll pass over to Eric.
My worst unit of the year is from Ice Ribbon, a unit called Bad Butts. The reason why they're my worst, so they do come out to the song, Big Butts and kind of like that. My other brothers can't do that, that song. They come out to that song. They literally don't know how to do interference spots. So I've seen them. So the Eddie Guerrero spot where a heel throws a weapon to the babyface and then you fall down to pretend, So they did that, and then they forgot that they did a ref bump just before, so there was no ref to actually see the babyface hold the weapon. So the babyface is just holding the chair, just looking around as if she got caught, and the referee wasn't even there. And that happened for about 40 seconds. Time literally just stopped while the babyface didn't know what to do and waiting for the referee, and the referee just missed his time cue.
Oh no.
Just the worst. Just don't do interference if you can't do it. And the worst part is all three individual workers are so good. So I hate it even more because they're like limiting how good the workers are. So, but Darkness Revolution is definitely second. That faction needs to just be blown up with a nuclear bomb. To be honest, that's a travesty. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, next category. Okay, the worst feud of the year. So this one was actually really difficult for me. I actually couldn't think of any feuds that I actively hated. I don't know if it's obvious to you guys and the listeners, but I really like wrestling. So like at at worst, I get like neutral about feud. I just don't watch the feuds that I don't like, I guess. And also in Japanese wrestling, I feel like the feuds and the rivalries, I don't know, it's harder for them to be bad because at a minimum, they're just normally about wrestling. So it's kind of rare that you just have a really bad feud. So I just actually don't have any for this one. So I'll pass on to David.
Yeah, I've got one for this, and that is probably one that you guys might not have watched, which is Jordan Grace versus Blake Monroe. Every promo has been. I actually think Blake Monroe is the worst promo in NXT. Like, I find her delivery stupid, horrific. She did the fat shaming promo. The only good thing about that was that they had all the female characters, including Ava, hate her for it, which I thought was good. But other than that, I thought the delivery was unfunny, lame. As I say, she does this fake crying now because the feud is still continuing now. She did fake crying after she got knocked out and accidentally lost the title, legitimately accidentally. And the matches, you'd think they'd be good because Jordan Grace is good, Blake Monroe's pretty decent. But no, they had a cage match that was full of Barbie dolls or something, and makeup and hair extension cables. She tried to tie her up. Yeah, she tied her up with hair straighteners and then cut her hair and then poured out dolls. And it's a cage match. But like a blood feud where one of them's angry that the others, like Jordan's angry that she's pulled up all these pictures from her past, and awful.
That's not good.
Worst by far. So yeah, over to Alice.
Okay. I just wrote Hangman versus Joe because that was not good. The whole, the first part of it was like it was like boring, but it was like whatever. And then she's like, what if we completely upend all of the good things and then only do bad things? Just because, and changed on the fly. Also, again, like whatever the Hurt Syndicate's been doing, because it's just been, they get so much time to do things that are like really boring to like actively offensive. And it's kind of impressive that they've managed to keep going this long. And the only good thing so far about AEW, like in recent weeks, has been that they have not been around as much. I mean, I haven't been watching, but that's what I hear. So yeah, that's it for me.
I was trying to be so nice to AEW that what I wrote down here, which I wrote a week ago, was whatever CM Punk is doing.
I actually had to say it at first, and then I removed it because I didn't want to be mean. Yeah.
Just
it's okay. I've been mean enough. I've been mean enough to AEW for you.
I despise him with all my being. I'm certain that whatever he's doing is bad. Sorry, David.
Do you want me to tell you what he's doing?
No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I just know that it's bad, whatever it is. And also, Hangman versus Joe. And then probably whatever Cope was doing at the beginning of the year with Mox is another one that was pretty bad feud. So, that's what I got.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Kind of forgot about. I mean, Hangman and Joe. I think it just erased this from my mind. I wrote down Hurts and MJF. I don't know if that counts as a feud because it ended before they could really feud with each other.
Yeah, they didn't do anything.
So my substitution to that was Mox and Copeland, like the shit they did with like tying up the Rock and Roll Express and all that fucking stupid stuff. The Cope Mox thing, yeah. But actually, now that I think about it, Hangman and Joe is a lot worse than Cope and Mox for what it did to AEW. So
not Hangman's fault.
No, not at all.
It's not his fault. I just want to make that very clear. It's not his fault.
Absolutely not. So, I would continue on to worst promotion of the year. Obviously, my answer is the Fed.
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I don't think
do I have to rattle off the list of reasons why the Fed is the worst promotion of the year?
If you want.
I did that like 2 episodes
You did it on the
ago,
Survivor Series show, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a horrific, evil company. One of the most evil companies in the world. So, yeah, no competition. No, not even close. It's WWE always. What do you think, Emmy?
I think you said it all, because under mine I said WWE probably ? I'm not happy with Tony Khan. I'm not happy with AEW right now, but I still wouldn't call it the worst promotion of the year. So, yeah, I agree with you.
A few days ago, I decided to watch the opening part of Survivor Series for some reason. And by some reason, I was fascinated by Tim's review, and I went, I have to see this. And I'm so sorry, but it must appeal to some people, but it is not for me.
It must.
And then, I did find it funny that they were playing War Pigs like in the stadium. I didn't realize it was in the stadium while they were talking about how it was such a great military town. I was like, oh man, this is like every time a conservative politician uses "Born in the USA,"
Born in the USA.
Yeah.
and then doesn't check the lyrics. Except the lyrics of War Pigs are like pretty audible. So I was just like, did they think the guitar would be enough? Anyway, I did that, and then I watched Stardom to remind myself that there is good in the universe. So I am sorry, but I have to say it's WWE. Yeah, David, I'm so sorry.
Well, it depends. Well, if we are throwing in the moral element, then I would go WWE, because especially for the promotion of RFK Jr., which I find particularly distasteful among many other things. But
yeah, that's obviously a big part for me, right? I killed the moral stuff.
If it's just booking stuff, I actually have TNA as the worst, because I've tried to watch it and I find it almost always awful. And they've had two top babyface stars pretty much handed to them, one by a meme, which is Joe Hendry, and then the other, they kind of did make themselves, or he made himself in Santana, and they pulled the rug out of both of them repeatedly, humiliated them, delayed their final win, gave them the final win, and immediately pulled it away from both of them. I mean, if it wasn't for the nostalgia of the Hardys, and the connection with WWE, I don't know how they would do what they're doing now or have a TV deal. I find it awful every time I watch it. So
that's fair.
That's my choice. Or AA or AAA for the first half of the year. I know this is going to be counterintuitive, but my God, if you're watching it then when the top feud was Alberto Del Patron, Viva Kingo and his dad with Latin Lover. Oh fuck me, that was awful. So that was pretty bad too. But that did actually stop. Now it's just a generic leader promotion thing.
Yeah, my worst promotion of the year is any of the Axis powers. I don't really care which. So, worst match of the year. So my worst match of the year is Gunther versus Jey Uso. I'm angry that I just had to remember that match. The stakes involved, it defanged the best thing in WWE, which is Gunther. Yeah, and it handed that achievement to one of the worst wrestlers in the world, who already had the worst match of the year in 2024 with his fucking brother. Okay, let's not forget that match. And what was it, the insane shit that Jey Uso said? Yeah, we just needed more time or something? He said some dumb shit like that. What was it?
Oh,
David?
Man.
Oh, no, I was just going to interrupt to tell you, do you know that what they're heavily foreshadowing for this coming WrestleMania?
Don't say it's Jimmy versus Jey fucking Uso.
Jimmy v. Jey, but this time the other one's going to be the heel. So
this is
awesome.
It's fucking mind blowing. I don't even. No, anyway, that one was actually the worst thing about that match is Gunther tapping out. Gunther tapping out to Jey Uso. Oh god, there's not a single other match that makes me as angry as that. Honorable mentions, because these are my other duds. Gunther Uso, I think, is a dud. Butterbean versus Minoru Suzuki. I mean, that's kind of a funny match, though, to be honest. And then Maki Ito versus Mickie James. Okay, so if you don't know what happened, they just stopped wrestling around like a minute into the match, and Mickie James was like, "Hey, crowd, this is at WrestleMania weekend." So they're like, "Hey, crowd, we don't care about star ratings, do we? We don't care about Meltzer. No, we just want to have fun." And then they started doing a fucking duet and like singing, and it was just the worst thing ever. Like, why are you stopping your match to shit on Dave Meltzer? I don't know. That was just awful. And it was embarrassing, and I wouldn't leave the house if I were Mickie James, but apparently people can't feel shame, some people, so there you go. All right.
Oh, it's me, isn't it? Sorry, yep. I've got. Mine's not particularly interesting. It's just I went back and looked at what I rated the lowest on cage match, and then looked at what I was saying while it was happening. And that is India Sue and Persephone versus Zeuxis and Sanely, which is from a 28th of February, Arena, Mexico. I just remember finding this match atrocious. And then I checked with other people watching. They're like, oh my God, what is this? And I had turned off SmackDown because SmackDown was really awful that day. And I put this on thinking, CML was going to cheer me up. And it was the worst match I've seen in forever. So it was and it's like 2 a.m. in the morning. So it's, terrible. So yeah, that's my worst match of the year by far. I just, yeah. And it was my honest reaction at the time, so I went back and checked how I reacted, and it was that.
I don't really have if a match is bad, I will just not watch it. I'll just be like, okay, I will stop this and go do something else. So I don't really have where it's like off the top of my head, like ones that I've watched through and can say are bad, just ones like I've heard about, like a match this bad. But vibes wise, in terms of just how it made me feel, Hangman versus Samoa Joe in that cage match. Also, it was just not just the way it was done was just not good. But also just the ending and just all of such an own goal, everything that's happened. So I have to say that again, maybe there was good moves and stuff in it. I don't know, but it made me feel real bad.
Feels bad, man. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
So for worst match of the year, I chose Cope versus Mox because I actively did not give a shit about that match at all as I was watching it. And also Joe versus Hangman #2 because it was out of nowhere. The cage match, just in general, I didn't understand why that match merited, first of all, a second match, and then also why it was in a steel cage. I didn't really see what made Joe so, I don't know. I didn't like it. It was probably for the interference, but then the interference happened anyway. So it's just it was stupid. I hated it. The ending sucked. It made me not want to watch this show anymore. I've been depressed ever since it happened. I don't know. The vibes have been off ever since Hangman lost to Joe. So yeah, that's how I feel.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Because I watch the pay-per-views. So I only watch really matches that get recommended from the TV show. What I figured they did this presumably to redo the faction has loads of heat, babyface gets triumphant win. Do you know who they're building this for? Is it Will but Will's out, isn't he?
MJF. MJF is going to win.
They're building it for MJF.
Really?
This is why it's so bad, right? It's just it, and they switched it because I think again, I keep mentioning Trish, but it's just she did mention as well, this was not meant to be the plan from the beginning of their feud. They switched it. They learned, they decided, I assume Tony Khan, decided to change the ending because Hangman wasn't supposed to lose at that point. And you notice if you go and watch from the beginning of the feud, including to after their first match, it doesn't make sense that he would lose. And then there's a weird switch and then he does, right? In terms of how the feud was progressing. And now it's going to be, so MJF could get a pop and then I assume Cope's going to come back and then maybe someone else. And it's just, like Emmy said, the vibes are off. The vibes are wrong.
They're off. No, I said that.
Not happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I broke my rule for this one. I just realized because I wrote Dominic Mysterio was John Cena, which was insane levels of bad. If I had to adhere to my no WWE performers rule, I would also go with the Joe and Hangman match. Yeah, it killed AEW for me effectively, so that's not good. Not good thing for a match to do. And obviously it's not to no fault of Adam Page, so it's just the booking. I mean, just the mere fact that you had like half a dozen people walking in and out of the cage alone makes a match for me just terrible. Why do a cage match? And then it's fucking Hook. It's fucking Hook that does it in the end. That does Hangman in. It's just holy shit. It's
Well, I was thinking about leaving cages in cage matches, right? And I think the one time it worked really well, at least recently, was the women's Blood and Guts. Because what they did is they literally crawled out through one of the gaps in the supporting pillars, and like they could only do that because like the women were so like small, like Julia and was a Sky Blue, like they could fit through the gaps in a way that like the guys couldn't have, right? So it was one of those things where it's like, okay, that's like you've thought about how you're gonna like sneak out and do this thing, and then there's like some other stuff like that, you know, either works or didn't. But I like saw that and was like, okay, at least you did something like inventive there, as opposed to open the door.
Yeah.
Sorry, you just reminded me. For meme of the year, can I also add Chris Statlander doing the shimmy while she's covered in blood, unconscious in the background?
Yes. That was wonderful. Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, I forgot one.
Go for it.
Yes.
I forgot to say Swerve versus Mox, because I also had high expectations of that one, and it pissed me off. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So I must have made up this WWE rule after I made the ballot, because I broke it again for most. We have the most regressed of the year award, basically the opposite of most improved. I wrote Becky Lynch.
Ooh,
I don't know.
That's a good one.
Since when she's been this bad? If this is just this year, because I haven't seen her in like 4 or 5 years. But compared to the last time I saw her, she's the most regressed wrestler by far. I don't know what she's doing right now. It's just so weird to watch her. So this is my answer here. I guess if I had to do a non-WWE answer, I'm not sure. Maybe Moxley at the start of the year, but he kind of caught himself halfway through, and thanks to the Bucks, obviously. Nah, I'm sticking with Becky Lynch. Fuck the rule. Rules are there to break them, right?
Damn.
Is it me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I got really confused because I just realized that when I mentioned Swerve versus Mox, that's for most disappointing, which is after this. Anyway, so most regressed of the year. See, I put MJF. Now, here's the thing though, because if you look at him in January of 2025, I was not happy with him either. But then in February and in March, he was okay and he was doing better. And then by December, as of yesterday, on Wednesday, I'm not happy with him again. So really, did he regress? No, he just kind of did the same thing. There was obviously like he went up and then he went back down. So I don't know. Maybe he didn't regress at all. Maybe he's just the same person he's always been. But I'm still gonna say MJF.
I actually couldn't think of any. Yeah, I actually couldn't think of anyone, but MJF is probably like the closest, because the other one I'd say is Hook, because not because he was ever good, to be clear, but because he went from like inoffensive, like, and like not around, to being like the center focus of, again, like Hangman losing in a way that kind of came out of nowhere, even though they tried to do a story about that, but it did not succeed. Like it was really poorly done. And now it's like, well, we have to push Hook, except Hook is not very good. So he's gone from being like in the opener and doing like weird, like funny sitcom stuff with Joe, to being the reason I stopped watching. So I think that counts as regressing.
Sure.
Yes. So I just a word on Tim's, because I not to disagree, but just to have some input. Because I thought Becky was having a really good year in the first half of the year, because I liked all her matches with Lyra. Again, you might disagree, but I thought they were really good, like interesting matches. Now, Eric doesn't agree.
No, I hate that no DQ match. That no DQ match.
That's the worst one. I mean, the three before that.
Yeah. Okay.
The three ones that were regular matches with only. Yeah, I thought they were good. But basically, she's been doing Donald Trump gimmick the whole year, and it's been getting progressively more campy as it's gone along. and now she's in full on coward. I do this
yes.
mode. Oh, sorry,
Yes.
I'm the audience at home. I'm flailing my arms around like a crazy person and doing silly faces. So yeah, I think it's kind of a conscious thing rather than she's forgotten how to wrestle. But I say no, I'm not disagreeing. I was just saying because you're saying what's going on with her. I think that is part of it. So anyway, my choices. I've got two. One is Shingo Takagi. I don't think he's bad. But I think he's like completely lost his fastball as a act and a wrestler. I just don't think he's like. I think he's gone from like that elite tier to like this tier, which is not bad. It's just. And my second choice is, as I said earlier, Blake Monroe Morame. I think she sucks, and she didn't used to suck, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've got Julie Hart because I think she looked fine last year, and now I don't even know when she's in the ring. I just feel like she hasn't had like a single good match this year. So just kind of but I mean, I don't hate her, but I just think she looked better last year. Okay, most disappointing match. So mine is Utami Hayashishita versus Takumi Iroha. And it's not even close because I love both of match. Yeah, I love both of these, and I was reacting live in one of the Discords when they started calling out like counts, like knockout counts, like halfway through the match, like 30 minutes in. I was like, okay, they're gonna do a fucking double knockout, aren't they? And then 35 minutes passed. I was like, okay, that's a bit long match. 40 minutes passed. Oh, okay, so they must be doing a time limit draw. And then 56 minutes in, they do a double knockout, just wasting like half an hour of time. It wouldn't have been a problem if the first 25 minutes hadn't been absolutely nothing, but I love both of them. That's why it was disappointing for me. Other honorable mentions are Utami and Mirai, and Team 200 kg versus Spark Rush, which it was a 30-minute time limit draw, which I thought would be much better because it's my favorite wrestlers, but it was very by the numbers.
Yeah, now you've mentioned it. I mean, that Utami versus Iroha is a really good choice. The only thing is, because I was so certain it would be a draw, I was kind of braced for like quite a stodgy time limit draw. I ended up hating the match, but like I guess my expectation wasn't where it would be if it was just they were having a match like 2 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever. I would probably been more hyped for it. My choice is, and again, it's not bad. It's just I had really high expectations, and that's Go Shiozaki versus Kenta Miyahara. I absolutely adored Kenta Miyahara versus Kojima when they did their match with the crazy Korakuen Hall crowd. I thought it was like this is the biggest event, and I thought this was like an event, but like it was all right. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it.
No, it's definitely overrated. I agree with you.
Okay, so these might be potentially controversial or hot takes, because I have two. And the first one is Kenny versus Okada at All In. Mostly because I think I had different expectations of what that like. I didn't mind it as much as some other folks. I think again, like the fact that I wasn't watching and haven't seen like their previous matches probably contributed to that, because I hadn't seen like both of them at their peak having a match in that way. But I did kind of expect a lot more out of it, and it just never happened. Like I kept waiting and waiting and waiting, and the match was over. And also Kenny lost, and that was kind of weird. And then the other one I have, and I would like to preface this by saying, I think this is a good match. However, my personal experience was not ideal, which was Hangman versus Kyle Fletcher at All Out. Because I think this was good, but in the arena, I was not having it. So what they did right before the match, I don't know why they decided to do this, is they turned all of the lights on super bright to the point where I was wearing a baseball cap and I was lights were shining directly in my eyes. The crowd was chanting, turn the lights down, we can't see. Loud enough you could hear it on the broadcast for the first 15 minutes of the match. It was, or 10, I don't know how long it went. I had a headache for the rest of the night. They were that bright. And then also just the audience they had curated, because the whole thing was based around Cope and Christian. The opening match was them two against FTR, and that sort of, I mean, being in the crowd made that match way more exciting than it would have been for me normally, because everyone was so excited for it. But the crowd, in comparison, was not as excited by the end. I think partially in part because they were out of energy, and then also because a lot of them probably came just to see the former WWE guys, because that's what their branding was all about, because they were Toronto guys and it was in Toronto, right? So the whole thing was they switched the advertising from red maple leaf to blue for Toronto, and then it made me viscerally angry as a non-Toronto person who hates the Leafs. So anyway, so being in that yes, So being in that crowd and in that arena watching it was just not ideal for me. It was not fun. I'm sure if I watched it back, I think I've watched some of it back, I would like enjoy it a lot more, but like in the moment I was like not having a good time, which sucked because like I should have. But yeah. Emmy?
I think I've said enough about most disappointing match because I said Hangman versus Joe number 2 and Swerve versus Mox. Those were probably my most high expectation. Well, not even. I expected Hangman to win. Hangman versus Joe number 2, and he did not. So I was not happy, and the match itself wasn't that great for me. Once again, I've already mentioned it, steel cage and everything. But Swerve versus Mox 2, I was really, really hoping that Swerve would pull through on this one. He did get Mox to actually wrestle a little bit in that match, but I wouldn't say it was a good match, and also he didn't end up winning, so I was not happy. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's obviously Hangman Joe 2 is a pretty safe choice for this one. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. I wanted to shout out another one, which I have here listed is Shuri vs. Sari 3.
Sorry, where you said shout out as if it's a positive award. Shout out for most disappointing match.
This is one where like the expectations obviously sunk considerably with the announcement itself, because like the expectations for this match ever happening would be as a big like standalone main event on an actual Stardom show or whatever, and not like first on the card on an NJPW show. You already knew what it was going to be. Then you also don't want it to be like announced 3 days before it happens randomly on a New Japan card. That's not what this match deserved. So for the expectations of what it should have been, it was still a fine match, but like obviously couldn't hold a candle to the first two, because obviously the circumstances with the weird announcement, with the weird match placement, it just all didn't make sense. I mean, it did make sense in that they had to get the belt of Sari for some reason. I mean, if that makes sense is another discussion entirely, but they obviously didn't want her to have the belt when she visited Marigold. So that's why they kind of rushed into this match and had this kind of like, yeah, pretty nice, pretty good 15-minute match. And yeah, the third Shuri Sari match deserved just something better. Yep. I'm gonna continue then with worst show of the year. I have, of course, Survivor Series on here. Obviously, that was tremendous. How terrible the things were that I've seen on this show. Honorable mention also for Full Gear for like ruining an entire promotion for me. So, those are my choices.
Amen.
That your pick, Emmy?
So my worst show of the year is also Full Gear. My honorable mention is All Out Toronto, just because of what Alice had to go through, and also the vibes in the chat were not happy the whole time. So yeah, there was that the one where there was something going on with Bryan Danielson and Taz?
Taz?
Was that the one? Okay,
I think
apparently
so, yeah.
by that, like that was when Taz got real weird, like real kind of grumpy, like noticeably on commentary by the end, which is another reason why maybe watching the match, like by the time Kyle and Hangman came around, there was something weird going on with them on commentary. Yeah,
I cannot ignore commentary. I'm not one of those people. Everything that they say, for the most part, I pick it up, whether it's by just the tension alone, not even paying attention to what they're saying, but I'm not a fan of that. And it ruined Kyle Fletcher versus Hangman for me, especially knowing what Alice was going through also at the time. I was just like, okay, so she can't watch it, I can't watch it. So I don't know what's going on here. It was pretty bad. So yeah, either Full Gear or All Out.
World's End 2025. I'm just going to assume it's going to be bad because World's End is a cursed pay-per-view, and it has ever since it started. Like every single one has just been weird with bad vibes. I think the first one was the first AEW pay-per-view that had like noticeably like not good matches. Like, you know, like the thing about AEW pay-per-views is that regardless of whatever the story is, like, you know that the matches are going to bang, right? And then that World's End was like the first one where it was just weird. So, and the Bucks are never around. So I am convinced it's cursed. If they break the curse this year, I'm going to be shocked because everything I've seen has not encouraged me. I would give it to something like Full Gear, but I think up until that point, I stopped watching. I think I didn't watch the main event at all. So it kind of exists. Like there's the before times, and then there's the match I didn't watch where the event happened. So up until that point, I was kind of enjoying it. So I don't think I can give it that just because I did enjoy it up until I stopped watching AEW, you know, the next day. So, yeah, I'm just, again, I didn't watch any bad shows that were bad enough because, again, if the show is not doing it for me, I will just turn it off. So I can't judge. So I'm just going to assume it's going to be World's End. And you know what? If I'm wrong, that's good. So.
Yeah.
That's really interesting to me because I don't know the fan perception or lore around the AEW show so much. Because is World's End not the one that has the Continental Classics final every year? So like, do you not have like Okada Will and Okada Ricochet and stuff like that last year? I just remember.
This is why
it's
strange.
That's always the one redeeming thing. Like,
yeah.
But the rest of the shows
do have
sucked.
good matches, but
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just intrigued to find out. That's all. Yeah.
Well, it's just strange because it's one of those things where if you look at, it's one of those, I think the first one especially, because it's this will be the third, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so the first one, it's one of those things where you look at an AEW like pay-per-view card and go, these are either, you know, they're going to be good or you're not sure, and the ones that you're not sure about often end up being great. This was one where the matches like looked fine on paper and then were like fine or middling in like weird ways that were just unusual for AEW. Like this hadn't happened before, really. Even if you have like one dud on a card, you don't have like a lot that are just kind of odd or should have been good but weren't. And then the Continental Classic and stuff was like good, but then there's just other weird stuff happening. And then like it was just odd in a way that the other ones aren't, even if some weird things happen on the other ones. And it's hard to explain, but it's just the vibes are really off. On it, and this the running joke that World's End is cursed. So we will see if they'll break it. I am doubtful.
Oh yeah, the last matches, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. Now I'm remembering. So the last one was the weird 4-way with Mox, Orange Cassidy, Hangman, and Jay White.
Yes, it never ends good. It never ends good is the problem.
I don't even. I don't even remember.
Exactly. The title matches have just been the problem because the 2023 was MJF and Samoa Joe. That was
yes.
I remember thinking that was the worst AEW.
And then the devil reveal.
And then the next year was that weird 4-way, and then now they're doing another 4-way again where MJF's going to win the title. It's just always finishing on a weird note, that show. So even though Okada Ospreay was awesome last year, but yeah.
You know what it is? It's because I've often heard the review before the show, so I'm like, oh, that main event sounded horrific, or that that angle sounds dumb, so I just didn't watch the last match. So I probably had a fun show up until then.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think you've ever heard that main event has sounded terrific from a World's End pay-per-view. I don't think that's possible.
That's probably true.
No, I mean honestly, when it comes to especially World's End, wait until the reviews and watch the recommended matches and ignore everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, were you going to say something then, Tim, before I go? Or
no, it's all right. It's just last year was the main thing was just that it ended with Cope and FTR. Like they had in the summer main, they teased the Okada Omega match right after the match because Okada won the Continental Classic, and it pissed me off so much that this wasn't the main event, and the post-main event was Okada and Omega teasing the match.
I remember, yeah.
But they put this shitty 4-way in the main event to then give Copeland the big return pop after the main event, which just killed my mood entirely.
I forgot that was Kenny's return, wasn't it? And so Kenny is like awkwardly in the middle, and he shows up and he says he doesn't even say a word. He walks out and he gives the belt to Okada like in a suit, and then he leaves. And then that's in like the middle of the show, and the whole show is building towards like the 4-way exists for the Cope return pop. And now we're going to get another, probably another Cope return pop. I kind of just assume at this point after MJF wins or whatever. So again, I'm trying to think about it. Let's move on. Let's talk about some more worst of the year things to cheer up.
We only got 2 left.
It's over soon.
Yeah. David? All right, I'll do mine relatively quick. Although I do really hate this one, so I might speedrun why for the people who are interested. So my worst one is NXT Gold Rush Night 1, which I think is possibly the worst book show I've ever seen. So it starts. I'll do it really quick. So it starts off with the kind of fun babyface team of Joe Hendry, who's new to the promotion, with Thea Hale losing, which is fine. They can lose, but a bit of a bummer start for your new happy team. Next match is Blake Monroe versus Sol Ruka, which is one of these things where they've got a tag team in Sol and Zarya who are real life best friends who the audience loves. Yeah, whether you like them or not, the audience loves them. They really want them to be friends. They've decided they can't be friends. So they have a really depressing match where Zarya throws in the towel for Sol, who's like the top babyface coming back from a leg injury to challenge for her title that she had to vacate because she had a leg injury. Amazing. So that was atrocious and killed the crowd. Then they decided, let's kill them even harder. So they had Javon Evans and Leon Slater, who are just out of this world amazing, lose to Dark State, who are the opposite of out of this world amazing. And then in the main event, 3 weeks after giving Tatum Paxley, who's like, again, weird character, but beloved by their audience, very athletic, very promising, they had her lose and have a whole faction turn on her in the main event to the champion who'd been champion forever anyway. And it was just it was like bad show, and it was incredibly depressing. And they take 2 shows back to back. So there's an hour of the next show where the crowd is just in mourning. They won't react to anything. They're depressed. It takes a whole hour to get them back. And like SA, it's so bad. Like there's literally in the match where they throw in the towel, you don't hear like a shocked reaction. You just hear like a whimper of defeat. It's honestly the worst book show I think I've ever seen. And then my other honorable mention was, I've forgotten its name. There's a TNA show where every match in the middle of the show fell apart into a horrific coffin of near-death botches. I'll have to look up its name, but people will know what that one is because they might have watched it and they'll know its name. But there was one particularly awful one. So anyway, over to Eric.
I'm just going to go with Saturday night main event, 24th of May. So that one has the Chelsea Green versus Zelina Vega match, which is I can't even describe that one.
That sounds
140 points, 148 places better than Venny in quality. That's what it is.
Okay, man. All right, yeah. It also had the Cena versus R-Truth non-title match. So heel Cena, and when R-Truth was being brought back as like a pity, when they got rid of him. I don't even know if it was before or after. I don't care. And then the main event was Jey Uso versus Logan Paul. I mean, this was a fucking show, all right? Okay, awful stuff.
This was the counter program to All In, right?
To Double or Nothing. No, it was the day before Double or Nothing. It was just a collision. Yeah, it was the day before Double or Nothing. Right. Worst. It's the last worst one. Worst booker of the year. It's just Triple H. So, David.
All right,
it's just the Cena retirement run is one of the worst booked runs in wrestling history. It's John fucking Cena. I don't know how you fucked that up, David.
Yeah, well, I don't have Triple H, but I don't object massively to picking him. I've got Delirious and TNA for many of the reasons I've said before. Shawn Michaels in NXT, I think if you've watched him this year, it's been like an all-time worst booking run. And Gedo in New Japan is my third one for squandering young talent, most notably, or not just young talent, up-and-coming talent, most notably, also I mentioned the Doki thing earlier, but particularly Yota Tsuji beating, who did he beat? Shota Umino, cutting that amazing speech, having the crowd going absolutely crazy, and then he loses the next match to Evil. And if you notice, he's now back in the number one contender spot, but he's not getting the reactions he was getting at that moment. It's just not happening. I mean, I hope he wins. I hope he does turn it around. But like, I thought that was like a moment of making someone and killing them almost back-to-back days in a really, when your company is in great peril. So I thought that was, I can't remember him having a worse year. Oh, and sorry, last thing. Putting so many people in House of Torture that every time you do a tournament, there's 3 people in one block and 2 people in the other block, even if it's tag team tournaments. So it makes entire tours unwatchable. So, yeah.
Does Delirious book TNA now?
Yeah,
that's my understanding. He's the head of creative.
It's him and Tommy Dreamer.
Oh my god, I wasn't even aware of that.
Tommy Dreamer can always have a vote for me for worst podcast.
Yeah.
So throw him in too.
Oh shit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Whatever.
Emmy, can you go and then come back to me? Sorry, I just have a.
Yeah. Worst Booker of the Year. I wrote down Triple H, but probably also maybe Tony Khan post July and pre May.
I mean, for sure. Yeah, that's fair.
Should I go? Yeah.
Yeah.
I go until Alice is ready. Basically the same. I got Triple H as my main choice. Obviously Tony Khan and Gedo get the honorable mentions. I think TK at least got himself into a position where everything seemed fine. That's something Triple H can't really tell for himself. Obviously, nobody failed in a more spectacular fashion than Tony Khan towards the end of the year here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's pretty close. It's actually closer than it ever was between Triple H and Tony Khan as to who is worse. Yeah, and Gato obviously also in there. I don't know.
Unanimous,
but
unanimous bottom three here.
Yeah.
Well, except
I lost so much interest in New Japan that I couldn't even like tell you everything Gato did wrong. But yeah.
Well, if you didn't watch, clearly, if you didn't watch it, clearly he turned you off of it so badly that
exactly. Yeah. Well, I have to say though, I did like the early year of New Japan actually, with the Goto title run, the Goto title win, everything around that I did like. I think Dominion is like the big bomb, and everything post Dominion is kind of just fucking.
Don't forget messing up Takeshita, Gedo. Like, I don't know how you mess up Takeshita's presentation in New Japan.
God.
It's obvious he should have come in as like an outsider. Like the fans see him as a DDT wrestler, but I don't know why they tried to book him as a babyface and tried to force it. That was just look at Suri in your sister company. Okay, Bushi Road owns New Japan and Stardom. Just look at what Suri's doing. The whole crowd hates her. She's playing the heel really well, one of the best characters, and then you just book Takeshita like that. It's just really weird. So
I'd also say he's also doing like when he's doing something good like Goto, which was he kind of I don't think he lucked into. I think it was a good choice, but that was right on the heels of all the like messing up Shoto. Shoto has his own problems, but part of that's the presentation and kind of humiliating him repeatedly afterwards. And then they do stuff like they do something really cool, like have Yo and Kazu Fujita go off in the junior tournaments, but then they just do nothing for the rest of the year. They just disappeared into oblivion. The titles end up back on House of Torture. We've got a number one contenders match instead of a title match on Wrestle Kingdom for some reason. Like I don't know.
That's so weird. Yeah.
I think
another thing about the Tony Khan was Triple H thing, right?
Yeah.
So Triple H mainly fucked up Cody and John Cena both, right? Which are arguably the top two guys in the company if Roman Reigns isn't around. But like in my opinion, those two guys they suck in the first place, right? They're two bad wrestlers in the first place. So maybe fucking up two bad things isn't that bad compared to what Tony Khan did, who fucked up a really, really good thing he had. And he had it so easy. I still give it to Triple H overall because it's just so bad, but
I was going to say, Tim, imagine Hangman losing the title and instead of Hook, it's Travis Scott making I think it was a 7+ minute entrance to cause him to lose the title.
That entrance was fucking crazy. Oh my god. It was like slow motion. That was crazy.
So insane.
Anyway, Alice, are you ready?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so it's because again, I can't really judge the other promotions, right? That I'm not watching, even though I can go, okay, these are probably badly, like, I hear things, right? But it's not the same as like watching it and then being like personally affected by the week-to-week TV or like the shows that you're watching. So, I think again, like I think everyone's right about like Triple H like fumbling, like such an easy layup in what like I could have booked that, right? Like, like I was making a joke about, like you know, like Tim being able to do better, like 619 than Rey Mysterio, whatever, right? Like, you know, I saw Momokogo do it better once. So like, listen, Dominic, whatever, not Rey Mysterio. He can do it better than Momokogo, I'm sure. Listen, I don't go here. I don't know these names, but but anyway, so like again, I don't know how you screw that up. So I think that's pretty high. However, I think Tony Khan, with the roster that he has and choosing to change plans like that, because he chose to change plans in a good way before, right? Like to pivot in a way that was beneficial. And then he was like, what if we just undid all of the goodwill and all of the good vibes and go back to the thing that everyone was upset about, which is like heel champ, heat, like heels running rampant everywhere and just weird four ways that don't make sense because someone has to get a return pop. What if we just like revert back to what we were doing like literally the same time this time last year? And I think that's such a big fumble that it's like, I don't know if it's like the worst like booker of the year, but it's like the worst like fumble of something that should have been a slam dunk overall, as opposed to like, you know, with like Triple H and stuff. Like, I think that's like one thing that he's messed up, and like there's other things, but you know, maybe the rest of it's fine. I don't know. I don't watch it. But with AEW, like so much of it, the way that the women's tag team tournament was done was really strange. Like they had like they didn't have the finals on a pay-per-view. Like they had them, like it just didn't get like the same attention in a way where you're talking about with Toni Storm, how you could have made her like a big star and then just didn't capitalize that, didn't build stat up and give her like the support that she kind of needed, even if she's kind of doing better now, right? Like there's all these things that are, you have all of these people and all of these really easy things that you can do, and you're just not doing any of them. And I think that sucks. So you know what? I'm going to be a hater. I'm going to give it to him. Tony Khan, worst booker of the year.
I'm changing my vote. I'm changing my vote to Tony Khan.
I appreciate you putting your foot down.
No, that convinced me. I actually think he fucked up easier things actually than he had so many good things that he's fucked up. That's actually, I didn't even think about the Toni Storm thing because no one really talks about it. She was literally positioned to be the number one person in the company. It was so obvious at the time as well. No, fuck it, it's Tony Khan, worst booker of the year.
Yeah, or even like even putting her in the tags to like be like the focus of that division could have been good. Right? And also not only that, but like they didn't get like a lot of focus, and again, like not putting like the finals and stuff like on like pay-per-views, and again the whole thing where it's like you have such easy layups with these people, and then you're just going, well, I'm not putting enough time in this because I need to make Hook a star.
No, agree.
Yeah, cool. Well, maybe I should switch my vote to. Oh, sorry, Emmy, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and also his need to like keep pushing whatever Mox is doing at whatever point in time, rather than just like giving somebody else just a little bit more space to do other things. It's like, could you please?
Yeah, it's also, I mean, it's not good for like Mox in that way either, because anyone he puts over just doesn't get a follow-up. So then it's like, well, what's the point of like putting a lot? I mean, Mox gets like, I'm not saying that, oh, Mox is hard done by, but I mean in the sense of like, he can only do so much, and the booking actually has to like do the rest of it. He's not booking it, right? You know, even if people are giving their input. So if he does like a big thing to like put over someone, and then that someone just doesn't get as much focus, right? That's not, you know, on the wrestlers so much as it is like the promoter to figure out what to do about that. And it's kind of a problem with a lot of what happens is like someone gets a big win and then it doesn't matter the next week in a way that's like really noticeable once you kind of figure out the pattern. So yeah, I'm glad we're all in agreement on being haters.
Yeah, well, David, do you want to change your vote to Tony Khan?
Well, no, I was going to change it to Triple H because I'm worried that Tony Khan's going to win nothing. I don't get any blowback from this with you guys, but
I'm still on Triple H. I'm still on
Triple H.
Technically, also Triple H, I think.
But I was going to say, from the outside looking in, the weirdest thing, as I say, because I mainly do pay-per-view, it is so surreal for me sometimes when you see Tony going from Hollywood ending, and then, I mean, I guess she's doing Mercedes stuff, but like, yeah, it just kind of feels like you think like, oh, this week's slam dunk I'll be seeing her on top of the card soon. You just don't. Or like Hangman, in my head, penciling in, because I say, I'm seeing these big matches in between, and some things like, when there's like a really cool promo I hear about, I'll go watch it. but I'm just assuming I'm going to be watching Hangman main events to at least like I don't know April March time, or he's still in the main events, but you know what I mean. I expect him to be champion, so it's quite jarring from my perspective that not capitalizing on the hot people, which is
that Arena Mexico promo, and then he loses the title like a couple months. Anyway,
Tony and Mariah not main eventing.
Yeah, it's literally called the Hollywood ending, not the Hollywood
so sick.
Like, you know,
middle
right before the main event, whatever that, you know.
I kind of, despite all this, and it pains me, I do have to give him like May to July was really well done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like he did have some high highs. His lows were just
tournament was fucking great.
Yeah,
he did book that. So that
I don't think Triple H did anything that good. So.
No.
And I would like to say that one thing Tony obviously does well is he does just put good matches on, which is like I know that's like it's like put fries in the bag kind of stuff, but like Triple H does put like I don't know why I occasionally like Raw often, in my opinion, has like I enjoy the matches most weeks, but like in the middle he'll be booking like why am I watching Maxine Dupree at all? Like what? Why would you decide? Why does Linda Baby need to wrestle and nearly cripple Rhea Ripley? It's like he just wouldn't make these choices. He'd just be like, oh, you know what? Speedball Mike Bailey versus I don't know, like Vasco Dorada. That sounds great. Let's just put that on. Like, I don't get the thinking sometimes. You're just like Ivy Nile v Maxine Dupree. That sounds like a winner. But,
it is one of those things where like you can watch it, and if you like aren't really paying attention or like aren't following stuff, like the matches themselves are often really good. You can like every week you'll have like here's a list of recommended like matches, and at least one will be like, you know, a banger. But then it's one of those things where it just makes the pitfalls all the more frustrating, because it's like because if you're just doing terrible stuff like a lot of the time, and it's like, okay, we know what the lows are, like, you know, like we know that there's going to be some things that I'm going to fast forward through that, I'm going to go do the dishes, I'm going to go whatever. But then like you have these really obvious opportunities or really obvious setups for something that should be really good, and then go again, no, we need to focus on our big new up and coming star Hook. And then and then that's just going to be the next couple of weeks, and you're just sitting there going, why are you doing this? We were coasting, and then you dropped us off a cliff.
That's crazy.
So I've talked enough about that.
All right.
Yeah, should we
let's move on to some good. So the rest of it is basically just shouting out cool wrestlers. Yeah, it's like the best of awards of certain categories. I wonder if it's just better just saying people, because I feel like we've spoken a lot about individual wrestlers, so we can just sort of like say names for each category, and we don't need to elaborate that much, I feel like. Who are we starting with?
We switched around. Should I start again?
Fuck it, go for it.
All right. Our first category B award is Best Technical Wrestler. I went with Chihiro Hashimoto. Honorable mention. I don't watch, like I know there's a lot of fucking beast technical wrestlers in like DDT, like Shinya Aoki and stuff. I don't watch enough DDT to really say it like those. So Hashimoto to me is just on a different level than anyone else. I did want to mention SRK, Starlight Kid. She did tremendous technical wrestling matches this year. And also Thea Hale, the NXT shooter, of course.
So for those that don't know, that's a reference to her shoot pinning Blake Monroe and accidentally winning her title. Yeah, that is good technique. Yeah.
I mean, you say accidentally. Blake gave her a Christmas present, and we're just gonna all like hate on her for that. True, she saved Christmas.
She did.
All right, Emmy.
I don't have one for this one, so skip me.
Hangman.
Technical wrestler.
He could be.
He's a good
technical
wrestler.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, I just didn't want to say anything.
Yes. You have the chance to give Hangman an award, and you're not taking it.
Yeah, because I'm still a very objective podcaster.
Hell yeah.
Of course.
I would never put my special little guy in places that I don't think he deserves to be in.
All right.
I'm so sorry for questioning your integrity.
Putting that into your mouth.
Don't question my integrity.
Yeah. I had SLK, Starlight Kid, because I was like listening to people talk about like how good her technical wrestling was, and then actually watching those matches, And, you know, watching, you know, other matches like beyond that and just going like, oh yeah, like I understand what people mean when they talk about like technical wrestling when I watch her in a way that I don't always understand for other wrestlers. Because sometimes when people say technical wrestling, they mean like we have a nap on the mat for a bit, as opposed to like, again, and when you watch someone who's good, you know that like what's happening is like engaging and actually like, you know, that it's good. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll just fly through these. I've got Zack Sabre Jr., the kind of few voices there. Shuri, Sari, Starlight Kid. I've thrown in Jordan Breaks. I haven't seen him that much this year, but just to shout him out because he's absolutely incredible. Just the technical wrestling, almost every aspect, not so much, but that particular thing he's great at. And then I've got Angel Del Oro, who isn't like he's more like an all-rounder, but he just has the wildest submission stuff in his matches, and it's kind of like he'll just pull out preposterous submissions, and I kind of enjoy that. So I'd give him a shout out. His tag matches are quite fun, and he has a really weird array of odd moves. So Eric,
my best technical wrestler is Starlight Kid. Honorable mentions: Zack Sabre Jr., Chihiro Hashimoto, Ryohei Oiwa, El Desperado, and Shinya Aoki. And then next category is best high speed / high flyer. I kind of realized after, I don't know why I combined them. It's because I guess a lot of people that are high speed are also high flyers. But anyway, that's what I've done. So I went with Jackie Kamae from Dragon Gate, who is both. And then honorable mentions: Meisera, high speed; Kevin Knight, high flyer; Darby Allin, a bit of both; Flamita, who's a Dragon Gate high flyer; Rita, who's a Dragon Gate high flyer; and Mystico, who I think I don't know, he kind of like stops time when he's in the air. And I'm just mesmerized every time he has a match and he does his high flying. So I think he moves like no one else in the air. So.
Yeah, I've got Mascara Dorada, Mystico, Meisera for the high speed aspect, and Javon Evans. Oh, and there's one else. Oh no, screw it. No, just those four.
Nah.
There's two. I'm just going to list people who do cool stuff. So they're the four I wrote down earlier.
I had Mascara Dorada also, mostly for me is because, again, All Out, a lot of stuff sucked about going to that show like in person, but being there to watch that match like with him, and it was a Takeshita and Okada, right? Like, so like the whole point of that match was to get him over as like the one guy who everyone knows isn't winning, but you have to like, so the whole point was like, look at all the super cool stuff he could do. And then he did a bunch of cool stuff. And I was just having a great time watching that, like in the arena. Like the crowd was having so much fun watching every single thing he was about to do. Like every time he did something, and then he did something even crazier. And it was just great. So I'm gonna hand it to him.
For this category, I have only one name. Though in retrospect, I probably could have thought of some more. But I'm choosing Ricochet. I love Ricochet.
I knew you were gonna pick Ricochet.
That's my son.
Yeah, he is your son.
All right. I'm kind of surprised I'm the only one here. I just put Azumi straight up. No one else. Yeah. So, yeah. Moving on to best striker. I chose a guy called Hangman Adam Page for this one. What about you, Emmy?
I actually didn't write anything down because I didn't want to keep saying Hangman's name. So, but yeah, Hangman. Hangman.
Okay, I've got him for the award in a couple. I've got Mike Bailey, particularly in Mexico, because it makes him the biggest heel ever, just because he kicks people hard, and they find that terrifying, and it's incredible heat. And then Surrey, because she's the best.
Yeah, I also did Cherry. I also when I was first getting into like watching Joshi wrestling, one of like the first few matches I watched were like matches with her, and I was just so impressed with like the sound that her kicks made was like nothing I'd heard before. Like the way that she does them in such a way that, you know, like you look at that and you go, oh, that must have hurt, even, you know, regardless of like if it actually did, it doesn't matter because it feels like so impactful and it sounds so like visceral, and it always impresses me every time like I see her do that. I'm just like, oh man, you're so cool. Yeah.
So basically this is who can make me like sort of like jump out my seat when they're doing strikes. So first one is Zack Sabre Jr., which people might not expect because he's more known for his technical wrestling, but I think he's really rounded out his game, and now he's just the complete package. I've loved basically all of his matches this year. I think he's been great. Honorable mentions: KZ from Dragon Gate, who's got the best uppercut in the world; Masaki Mochizuki, who's a 56-year-old man. So I've loved a lot of his matches this year. He just has he has really believable striking. Konosuke Takeshita, which is kind of like the basic bitch answer, but I think he's a genuinely good striker. I've always loved him. Takuya Nomura from the Astronauts, Veni, had to do it. LeBron Cozone from the US Indies, Mari and Actress Girls, Takumi Iroha, Kento Miyohara. And yeah, if you heard that list and you're like, that's a lot of thigh slaps, then yes, it is, because I don't care. And yeah, go on, Emi. You got your hand raised?
So I just thought of one that I feel is really important to say before we're done with this one. Queen Aminata. I love the way that she strikes.
Very good, yeah. Exactly.
So, yeah, that's great.
So a lot of people like criticize her for thigh slaps. I just don't care. Like if you can do a strike that makes me go like, oh, and I don't know if it's real. I don't care if how you're doing the sound. I really don't care. So she's a great striker. Yeah. Cool. And then best powerhouse, I got Chihiro Hashimoto. Honorable mentions, Kazusada Higuchi, Miyu Watanabe, Shuji Ishikawa, and Utami Hayashishita, who just throws bombs literally all year, and Mirai.
Oh, I forgot about Mirai. I could have had her best striker as well. I had Hashimoto, Miyu Watanabe, and Claudio Castagnoli, just for the kind of amazing balance type stuff he can do. And again, in Mexico, it's kind of even more spectacular because the agility they have plus his strength just is amazing. So yeah, they're my three.
I put Chris Statlander down for this just because I love whenever she does like the big power moves is always so much fun.
It's great.
Oh man, that's it. I love her. Amy.
I'm gonna do her frenemy. I'm gonna say Willow. Willow Nightingale.
Willow Nightingale's Doctor Bomb is such a good power bomb. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. I also have Hashimoto as my top answer. I also wanted to shout out Megan Bain, which probably wouldn't have been the case like early in the year, but the way she did these running power bombs during the tag league was insane to me. So I had to shout her out here. Right. Next one is best brawler / hardcore. Once again, my pick is Hangman Adam Page. What about you, Emi?
It is also Hangman Adam Page. Oh, and Tony, I thought she did really good in those hardcore matches.
Yeah.
So I would say Tony, and then also Mox, obviously, just because he always does good in
it's very good.
brawls. So yeah.
For like one-time things, Tony definitely, and then I would also mention Mei Sarah and Suzuki for their hardcore match.
Alice.
Sorry, Alice.
I'm also gonna say Hangman, and I'm gonna give a honorary shout out, not because I think she's anywhere close to like winning or anything, but points for effort to Sky Blue for like getting a taste for blood and then going, how can I make this like actively concerning to multiple people, including everyone in the ring, during Blood and Guts, where she ran the blade, and oh boy, I was worried that she would just pass out at some point, and you know what? Maybe her and Julia looked a little lost at certain points, but she tried her best. And you know what? I do have that, points for effort and blood.
Yeah.
So
David, you have to bring this home. We've got 3 Hangman so far.
Oh yeah, that was my choice. My honorable mentions. So Hangman is my pick. My honorable mentions is
hell yeah.
Swerve, and then I've also got Suzuki and Mei Sarah when she's allowed to do her knife maniac character like once or twice a year, particularly against Suzuki. So it's a bit cheating because it's only like 2 matches.
Awesome. I've got Hangman. We did it.
Nice.
Hangman sweep.
We got
the first sweep.
It's not really even a choice, is it? I didn't think there was much of a choice. Right?
I think he's just.
Yeah.
When have you seen Hangman have a bad brawl? Like ever?
Never.
Never. Right?
He's literally one of the best. Well, he is the best brawler in the world. I think. Well, that's why we're saying it.
Yeah.
I don't know. No one does it better than him. So yeah, Hangman was my pick. Honorable mentions. Just I guess. So there's a wrestler on the Indies called Dani Luna. So you wouldn't really consider her for brawling, but she just has the most disgusting like bumps ever. It's like every match I watch her, she's fighting for her life. So like there's a concept of a Dani Luna match for me that's very vivid, and it leaves like a unique impression for me. So I just wanted to mention her. Get her out TNA, please.
I was going to say I saw her versus Alex Windsor I think it was actually a strap match, but it kind of turned into like a dog cage match in person, and that was fucking incredible. And the crowd were like quite rude and not caring at first, and by the end of it, they were going mental. It was, but also it did involve a lot of accidentally landing on your neck, but it was really good.
Do you have a link? Do you have a link? You said
do you
dog
have a
collar.
link, David?
Dog collar.
Dog collar?
No, not dog collar. So it was a collar match. Oh, was it? Yeah, it was dog collar, right?
I think Emmy's just fucking with you.
Do you have a link?
It's free up from Twitter. It is actually free somewhere, but yeah, I don't.
I would like to see it. I would like to see it.
I
can find out what show it's on for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Then the other honorable mention I was gonna have is Jun Kasai, who's the best deathmatch wrestler in the world.
Oh yeah, sure.
So best talker. Oh, this one kind of interesting. So I went with Suri. Okay, I think she's done a legendary troll job this year, working literally all of the smartest fans in the world who think they're the smartest and getting upset at her. I just have to give her points for that. Honorable mentions.
Okay, that's true.
Misa Kagura, who's a nice ribbon. I just love her promo style. It's very unique. It's passionate and dramatic without overacting, and it always works for me. John Moxley, I've enjoyed the vast majority of his promos this year, to be honest, especially the backstage ones. Yeah, and Hangman is my last honorable mention.
Yeah, I've got two, one AEW, one WWE, so I'll do AEW first to make people happy, which is Hangman. I think that's obvious. It doesn't really need much explanation. My best for WWE is Trick Williams. I think he's a great talker. Yeah, you don't like it, that's fair. I think he's an amazing talker.
No,
and I think
I'm relieved.
And I think one of the things I'm going to say, well, Eric's reacting big. That's why I'm stammering if people are wondering at home. And one of the things he's done best is that when he was a babyface, obviously got over huge, but he switched to heel this year, and he's found ways to have like very entertaining, very long promos, because that's what they make you do in WWE, without giving any of the cheer lines or the laugh lines. So he entertains you, and he leaves the babyface all the space to actually have all the killer lines, which is something that MJF, for example, or like many other heels who are like, I'm going to entertain you, and I'm going to still be, and I'm going to have all my catchphrases, all my punches on point. He doesn't do that, but he still like has everyone's attention the whole time wrapped, but without turning it into getting himself over as a face heel instead of as a heel. So I think that's a really rare skill, and I think he's got that. So Eric disagrees, I know, but still.
No, that was a good explanation, to be honest. Yeah.
I had Toni Storm down for this just because she had that, especially there was like that string of like every time she would go out there and just say something even more just deranged and entertaining. I really like how the crowd just like loved, like she had that where she would just show up on like a balcony or somewhere in the venue and or like do all that stuff, and that was always just so much fun, especially again when the vibes were low. Toni was there for us, and I do appreciate that. And then Hangman as well, right? Like I think he's just very good. He's good at doing like the economical stuff, and then even when he was like with MJF, like that one promo like battle the two of them had, I don't think I've actually watched all of it because again I can't stand MJF, but he had that like one line where MJF was like, oh, like I'm better, like what about you is better than me, I'm better than you, and all these things, and Hangman just looks at him and goes, I am real, and that was just the last line. And it's just like, okay, you know what, yeah, like that's you've done what MJF tried to do in 20 minutes in like one line of like summing up the point of like your disagreement here. Disagreement's like a mild word for it, but I just appreciate what he is able to do and what Tony's able to do. And when the two of them were like champs at the same time, getting to say deranged stuff at the same it was just so good. It was so good. Yeah. Amy?
Best talker, I would give that to Toni Storm. Best promo, I have 3 top promos that I've enjoyed from Hangman this year. One was the Arena Mexico promo that he did all in Spanish. I speak Spanish. I am Latina. I appreciated that promo so much. It was really important to me. He only like messed up one word. So
what word was that?
Enseñaron, talking about what the immigrants that came to Virginia taught him.
Yeah.
That the word the word to teach that they taught him. So he kind of said that word wrong, but otherwise it was great. You understood everything he said. I showed that promo to my mom, my dad, my brother, because it made me so happy. And then also the promo he cut after winning Double or Nothing, after beating Will Ospreay, where he talked about how, like what the championship represents, that this is about, human dignity, with the human dignity with which we all treat each other, and like all of these nice things that just made me really happy, made me feel really good. And then the third was when he ended it with, "I am the champion of the fucking world." I thought that shit rocked. It was a banger. And yeah, that's how I feel about that.
Right. My number one is and will always be Tam Nakano. There won't be anyone, I think, ever who could make me understand exactly what she's saying in a promo without me understanding a single word that she said in the same way that she did. Honorable mentions is for me Hangman also, but I totally forgot about Toni Storm. I gotta mention it too. Absolutely.
Can I just throw in quickly? Oh, sorry if you're pausing in there. If we're throwing in best individual promos, one of my favorite ones that probably won't come up in any of the main lists, so I thought I'd throw it out here, was at the end of Shuri Sari 1. I love, it's not really a promo, it's more like a bit of a promo where Shuri starts a promo and she's crying, and I just Sari slap her and tell her to stop crying. And I just love Shuri declaring, like, "I am Shuri, I cry, like I cry if I want to," or whatever variation of that was. I thought that was incredible. Like I say, juxtapose their characters perfectly. So that's. But if you just because you mentioned some individual promos, I thought, oh yeah, that one sprang to mind.
Now that you mentioned it, and Eric mentioned it, actually, but what Eric said about Sari is also very true. Like her character work with her promos was excellent this year and worked insanely good on the smartest of marks out there. So that's definitely deserving of a special shout out here. Anyway, next up we have most charismatic. It's Tam Nakano, of course, and Hangman. And that's basically my answers here.
I kind of have like a weird one here. For most charismatic, I put London Lightning because it only took
Yes.
a little 20-minute vignette. Me watching one of the mystery wrestlings with Alice one day, and I immediately loved him.
That's what charisma is.
You were declaring death against Cecil Nix like within minutes. It was great.
Yeah, I think when a guy can do that to you,
yeah, it's charisma.
You want to protect him at all costs. I think that's charisma. Yeah.
Yep.
I would actually genuinely recommend looking up the London Lightning "Where Is He Now" video, like just watching it, because the way they've given it a plot, like it has structure, it has like existential horror of working in retail. It's incredible.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So, I'm next. So I put down it was Saya Kamitani, just because I find her just she's not like my like it's one of those things where it's like she would not be my like first pick for like best wrestler or first pick for like all these other things, but like I find her so charming and just so like when you're like I find her charming like outside of the ring, like in her like you can understand why like she had so much success in like TV appearances and like doing all this press and stuff, because she is just so charming. I keep saying that word, but it's true. And then in the ring, like she has just like this weird, like, she does have charisma where you're just watching her and just the way she moves and everything about the way that she's fine-tuned her character is just so good and just absolutely perfect. And again, also Hangman, honorary, like not even an honorary mention. I think it's like the same thing of just like you fine-tuned your character down to like exactly what it needs to be,
I do actually have Saya written as my third choice here, but I didn't mention her for reasons. I don't know. But I agree on Saya, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Right.
So I've got number one, I've got Soberano Jr. Because his character is just basically like a massive fuckboy, but like everyone actually likes him for it. And the crowd's just, the reaction to him is unbelievable, just for his I don't know, his movements, his body language. He's under a mask, yet he just permeates everyone in attendance, basically. Then I've got Azawa second, or Azawa as an honorable mention. I didn't actually list Saya, but I forgot. Alice made such a good point about like physical charisma with the body movements and all that, so I would include her. My third choice was actually shout out someone who Tim tragically what do you call it, like what do you call it, this by not including them. I forgot the word for it when you shunned, which is Sayaka Kurora. I think she's the most charismatic.
Oh, that's actually kind of true. Yeah, I'm surprised no Mystico, but yeah.
Mystico, like I suppose it is. Sub-Brown Jr. I can see his charisma. Mystico,
okay,
like is like almost fundamentally not charismatic, but that being Mystico non-charisma in a way is so charismatic. Like I've been in a building where he's
I kind of
like,
know what you mean
with the most rigid posture, and he like goes,
"Oh yeah,"
in my direction. I'm like, yes. But I couldn't. Like,
he's got that no like, riz.
Yeah, exactly. That is perfect.
I think that's London Lightning for me too.
Oh my goodness.
But I'll go.
Poor boy.
Yeah,
sorry, Tim.
Oh, go on, Tim.
No, I was just gonna say I have Sayaka Kurara in spoiler alert for my for the next award, so maybe I kind of put these.
Most charismatic for me is Miyu Watanabe. So I can't take her eyes off her. So she's the most charismatic for me. And then honorable mentions, not in any order, like Shun Skywalker, Sai Kamitani. I watched that video, that clip of her when she was on TV earlier today, and she gives a presenter a forearm or something, and she's just like giggling, and she's just so charming. I don't know. So she gives off her own. She's definitely charismatic. Azawa, Senka Katsuki. So with her, I think it's just physical charisma. So just her body language and the way she wrestles makes you want to jump out your chair and like cheer for her, and that's a very unique type of charisma. Whereas maybe Azawa is much more traditional, speaking on the mic. He's funny, he's charming, all of that. I had Mystico actually on my honorable mentions, and my note I had for him is it's more in a crowd rousing type of way, which is exactly what you said, Dave. David, so I was like, oh damn. I said I feel like no one whips up a crowd like Mystico, and that's part of being charismatic and having an aura around you. So even if he's not necessarily charismatic himself, you just look at him and he's like doing these like perfect flying head scissors, and you're like, oh fucking shit, yeah, let's go. So I think Mystico is great. Itsuki Aoki, who's the hot. Yeah, go on.
Oh no, I was just gonna say he lands on his feet charismatically, like that smooth landing. He's not doing anything charismatic. It's
the best flying head scissors in the world. There are a few wrestlers who do it, but it's actually not. A lot of them just land on their like back or something. Yeah, cinema. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was doing the cinema. Right. Yeah, no, I love his flying head scissors. I actually did it unintentionally, though, Emmy. I actually did it unintentionally. I did not mean to do the cinema emote. But anyway. Itsuki Aoki, who's the heartbeat of the indie scene, and Venny, because I got to do it.
Yeah.
Then best gimmick / character. So my winner is Suri, the sun god. Again, for similar reasons, the shit talking she did was legendary. And just it was a great character that she had curated. For example, going to Inoki's grave, which Dave mentioned earlier, that is just such a perfect thing that her character would do, that she thinks like she's inherited the power of Antonio Inoki to beat the fuck out of people. I just loved her character. Honorable mentions, Kazuki Hirata, who's the best comedy wrestler on the planet. Tim just has no taste in comedy. Hangman Adam Page, I think he's one of the most thoughtful when it comes to his character presentation. I think he's probably one of the most thoughtful characters like on the planet. Like he clearly takes care in how he wants to be presented. When he's doing shit like he's doing now with the MJF promo, you can tell he's like not into it. You can really tell when he's into something, when he's not into something. And the last one is Shun Skywalker, who is the master of his character. He has completely figured out how to present his character.
Yep, I've got Sai Kamitani for just the overall look, package, delivery. I know it's contradictory in different arenas, but I think it's pretty fantastic. Hangman, because as I think, I think you all mentioned it. Like he's just the most real and believable human person, while still being an over-the-top kick-ass character. So that's really hard to pull off, and that's great. And I also agree with Sari, because I didn't list her, but then when you were talking, I was thinking about all the things she does that are pure gimmick, and they're great.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like her famous don't interrupt her reading a newspaper because she's going to death stare you to death. So, yeah, so I'd add her as a third. Oh, sorry, Alice.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay, so I had Toni Storm down, mostly just because I think making a silent film character like as an actual like wrestling gimmick and then have that be like the most over thing on the show and then also have it make like sense as like a character. You know, Rocky Start obviously, but by the time we got like to this year, like she was so in gear, like she was again like often like the most over person on the show, you know, pretty consistent in terms of like, you know, she's being absurd and like hilarious and comical, but in a way that is just still pretty consistent, right? Like she is who she is and she's going to keep being that no matter what. And I do just find that really fun because you don't really see that a lot in wrestling, or you don't see it in a way that like works well. And I just have to be like impressed where it's one of those things where you can kind of show like non-wrestling fans this and be like, look, it's like this is kind of what you can do and like part of what's fun about it, right? Like these absurd characters that become like real in the world of wrestling. You know, same with like again like Hangman, right? Like when he says to MJF like I am real, as in like MJF like you are fake and everyone here knows it. Well, he's also playing a character, but his character is authentic and like that's like what defines him, right? Where he has everything so again fine-tuned where it's just you can go look back for years, you'll pull things back from like years ago and make and everything for him, his character has to be consistent. And the problems he runs into are when like he's doing like, again, like what he's doing right now, where it's everything else that doesn't make sense or that has been retconned or just hasn't been mentioned. So yeah, and I think I would say Saya, but also I just have her down for like some other stuff here that is like basically the same thing, right? So yeah, but I'd say Toni and Hangman again. Right?
Toni and Hangman. That's all I got. She said it all, so.
Yeah, that's true. I have Tom Nakano. Also shout out to Starlight Kid and Sayaka Kurara. But I have to agree with everything said before about Suri, Toni, and Hangman as well, of course. Best entrance / presentation. So I was thinking about this. I think the number one answer for me is Tam Nakano and Saya Kamitani both at All-Star Grand Queendom. That was just like the perfect presentation from start to finish. It was heaven and hell. It was like it was so good. I also wanted to shout out the Young Bucks at All In. I loved that. And Hangman at Double or Nothing.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I would say Hangman at Full Gear maybe, but I hated that so much in hindsight so that I don't want to think about it like that. So yeah, those are my.
Yeah, he had a lot of really good like special entrances this year. The Double or Nothing one with the neon cactus, like the desert, the neon desert sky. That was really, really cool with the, you know, the pink gear for, you know, Owen Hart. As you said, like the Red Dead, the American Venom presentation, in hindsight probably should have realized what was going to happen there with that. The video package at the beginning of All Out, not All Out, All in Texas was really good. The way they had the what was the lady? The lady that was doing the whistling, so cool. The medley tune that she did with all the old classic like Ennio Morricone was really, really cool. So yeah, definitely Hangman is my first pick for that. I would also say Mercedes has a really good presentation. Toni Storm obviously has great presentation. I loved the graphics that they put up for her at All in Texas, especially. Swerve when he came back at Full Gear, despite the fact that I was not happy at seeing him in that moment because of what had just happened 3 seconds before. I would say that burning house and then that new music really hit. It was awesome. I think it's really elevated him in his presentation. And then also Mina. I love Mina. I love her dance. I love when she comes out. She's got live show charisma. I love Mina. I love her so much. Yeah.
Yeah, I also had down Tony Storm, especially the All in Texas, like the little like video, and then like the way that they had mostly like it was just so good because it also was building on like the theme and like the entrance that she had before. Also, I will say shout out to her for Grand Slam Australia when she won the belt back. A lot of that had to do with like the energy of the crowd, but like just that, like you could just also like see like the emotion on her face, like, you know, being like pretty close to like her hometown and like being and being able to perform there, and that was really sweet. And I'm also going to say like Saya, like when she gets to do her big entrances and they're just like, you know, like super villain like you know, energy. And then I want to say also, Mina and Tony, their little dance. I love the little dance. It's been so much fun. Just like not only I love when tag teams get to like when part of the fun about watching like the women's, sorry to divert, but like watching like the women's tag team tournament was that all the women finally got to do like their own tag team moves, right? Like you could see like it's like with watching like Brodito, and like they try and like half the moves could kind of botch, but it didn't matter because they were so happy to be able to do them. Where it's like with the women, like they finally get the chance to do that. So of course they're going to come out for their entrance, and not only are they in a tag team, but of course they have matching gear and they have a dance. They've come prepared with a dance. So yes. I just love that. I find it charming. Like, so it was so much fun every time marching out, doing a little thing. So yeah. Right.
Yeah. And I've got, perhaps unsurprisingly, Sai Kamatani, particularly any of the times that she's got the wind machine. It's always pretty amazing. And I think particularly what's good about her is that it's all like positioning, knowing angles, looks, and charisma, because she's had the same gear essentially and the same coat and the same flag pretty much the entire year. And she still managed to create these like epic entrances, basically just using the music and the looks, the camera, and they're not always identical. So I just think, yeah, I think she's amazing at that. And this is kind of like best bad presentation, but I love it, is Rianne, because she's such a little twerp and she does like the lamest little pose, and it's like, oh, here's this adorable little lost person who stumbled into the arena and she's going to get murdered. And I think that's great for her character. So on the other end of the spectrum, but I kind of rank it as a best entrance too.
Good one.
That's
me,
awesome.
It's me, Watanabe. So once again, so I just love her entrance, the LOVE, and she's going around, she's posing for people in the camera. She deliberately looks for people that have cameras so she can take close photos of them. Yeah, that's my favorite entrance. I never skip it. Honorable mentions: actress girls start the show. It's kind of cheating because it's a show. At the start of every show, they do like a 3-minute set, and I never skip it because I can't take my eyes off it because it's dance choreography, and you know I love my choreography. It's really fun. Yeah. The song is a banger. Saya Kamatani, Sari has a really good entrance. Kento Miyahara is obviously a legendary one. Konosuke Takeshita in Japan is just aura farming. He looks like a fucking ace. Kazuki Hirata and Danshoko Dino for his entrance. So that's kind of an underrated one. I just like the fact he's going around and guys have their hands up to be kissed and he goes around and kisses them. I don't know why. I vibe with that. Maybe I want him to kiss me. So we'll see. And then the next one is best gear look. So I just went Mystico with this, kind of like what I said earlier with the most charismatic, and my honorable mentions were Venny, and that's it.
Best gear look, I've gone for, on the women's side, I've gone for Sari Anu's blue aristocratic ruffs vampire thing that she debuted, I think, at her anniversary show. I think that's just an amazing look. And then for the men, anything, all of Soberano Jr.'s crazy outfits. So they're all great, including this one, the one he did this week where he's trying to replace Mystico. So he did Mystico's gold and white outfit to his face, but with Illuminati stuff on the top. It was great. Yeah, he always looks amazing.
Right. I had Saya for this. Oh boy, sorry, my cat's walking by the mic.
Hello, kitty cat.
Yeah, this is Charlie.
Hello, Charlie.
Oh boy, don't. Okay. At least she didn't accidentally mute me. Okay, great.
Hello,
Anyway, so
Charlie.
I had Saya just because like her gear, I usually like with black gear, but like she has it all like iridescent and with all the like it looks so good because like she knows the like any movement with it like looks great, right? Like that's part of what like makes her look really compelling is all like the fringes and like the movement. That's another thing I really like about watching Joshi wrestling is like all the fancy gear that looks really good when people are moving, right? It's like part of it, right? It's a performance that like involves a lot of movement, so you want that to look good. So I really like that about her. And then I had another, I'm trying to remember getting her name. I have it here. Oh yeah, Takumi Hiroha. It's like what like she's the one with the with like the yeah with the with the
sorry,
like
for
the long
for the listeners, I'm pointing to my shined Spark Rush t-shirt with Takumi Roha on it. Yeah, sorry, go on, Alice.
Yes, yeah. So because it just I love the colors, and then I just love that it's like kind of unique in terms of like I haven't seen anyone's like wear like I also like when people wear like long like wide pants. Part of what I do actually like Hangman's like look the way that like the cut of like those pants and then all the fringes and stuff because again looks great when it moves and I just think it's like really cool. And I'm gonna give a shout out to Powerhouse Hobbs for Crushed Velvet because I like purple and I like Crushed Velvet. So you know what? Good for him. He's catering to me. And then also Ricochet and the rest of like the Gates of Agony, what are they called? Like the Demand now with their like with their one piece like jackets because it's literally one piece. Like they're the Marines jackets from One Piece is what they look like to me. Where each of the insides of each jacket, like they all look the same on the outside. And the insides are all like primary like bright colors, so like blue, red, and yellow, and they all come out wearing like them without like sleeves, like without their hands, like arms through their sleeves, like like a bunch of assholes, and it looks great and hilarious. And again, part of why I'm bummed that he's like off, again on babysitting duty is that like they could be having so much fun, and they just look so silly when they come out, and I love it because heels, heels are supposed to look silly sometimes.
Well, Alice, Ricochet, he won. He's gonna be in the end of the Diamond Battle Royal, in the singles match. So he could face MJF in January at Maximum Carnage.
Why would you say that, Emmy?
So he's not.
Why would you do this?
He's not babysitting the Hurt Syndicate anymore.
That's true.
Now he's gonna be babysitting MJF.
Oh, oh my God. He's free, but the monkey, man, I wish it would be nice if, I would love if Ricochet could stop, being in the Hurt Syndicate vortex. Monkey's paw curls so hard that like it, vanishes into a black hole of MJF vortex instead. Dear God. But at least they will have those extremely silly jackets that I love. Okay. Moving on.
Ricochet's such a nerd. I love him so much. Okay.
Congratulations on having such a wonderful son.
I love my son. Okay, best gear look. I chose Mercedes Moné. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it on this podcast. That is my wife. There's her. I want her hand in marriage so badly. She's gonna give it to me. Kazi, stay away from her. She's not yours. She's mine. I don't care if she has two hands. She's gonna be holding both of them in my hands. And yeah, that's how I feel every time that she has a new outfit. I'm drooling. I'm drooling. That's what it is. I love her so much. She looks beautiful all the time. Every time she wears a cowboy hat and boots, it's like the wolf, the cartoon wolf. Like it's just like awooga. Like I don't know what else to say. I love her so much. Okay, I love Mercedes. I'm done.
All right. Just like for almost every other award, it's obviously Tom and Saya for me. I wanted to give a special shout out here to Queen Aminata's gear, though.
Yes.
Right. Moving on. Best finisher. Best finisher to me is the Violet Screwdriver. Has been for the past 5 years or whatever. It's Tam Nakano's like straight down sitting piledriver thing she does. Also shouts out to Tokimeki Spear from Sayaka Kurara and the Buckshot Lariat from Hangman Adam Page. Emmy, what about you?
I do love the buckshot lariat, so yeah, we'll go with that.
Why not?
What's Natsupoi's one called? I forgot to look it up.
She's got quite a few. Which
one?
Yeah.
Like the spinny thing that she does.
Fairy
I think that's
blink?
Fairying Ring.
Yeah, that's probably it. I can't. I mean, there's several spinny things that she does, but I like them all. So, but like, it's just really fun, like watching like her do, like, you know, the spinny stuff. It's always very fun, especially because again, like I don't always like see that in terms of like there's a lot of finishers that are, you know, not as like flourishy. You know what I mean? Which can be fun, but I enjoy that one. I like when she does it. And then also, yep. Hello, Charlie. She's back again.
Hey, Charlie.
Yeah,
Hi, Charlie.
She's circling me like a shark because she's hungry. Yeah, and then also the buckshot lariat, obviously. I love that. I love when it gets sold like death, like Osprey in the like Double or Nothing match, like when he just the way that he flipped at the end and it looked like so brutal and it was just perfect. So yeah. Right.
And I've got one that's not very flourishy, but I love, which is the wrist clutch Uranagi from Suri.
Yep, mine's Danny Luna's German suplex from outside the ring to inside the ring. I don't know what the move's called, but it's the most horrific move, and I love it. And honorable mention
over the ropes.
So the person she's German suplexing is outside the ring, and they've got their foot on like the second rope. Yeah, so they're getting ready to like, spring off it to help her. But she's then doing a German. She's inside the ring and she's doing a German suplex over it. And they always land literally like on the top of their neck, and there's a nasty bump, and it's awesome. And then the honorable
that is
mention,
so cool.
Yes, I'll send you a clip after. An honorable mention is Suri's Uranagi because no other move generates as much stress and hearts racing as that one. Best spot sequence is for me during a Miyo Watanabe Shoko Nakajima match, which is why it's one of my favorite matches this year. Just Miyo Watanabe just has a really unique ability to display like moments of vulnerability during a match which don't feel forced or fake, and they make you question what is actually going on, and no one else in wrestling can really make my heart like flutter like that during a match. So they just had a super cool sequence where Miyu was going for a finisher, lifting Shoko onto her shoulder, but something happens and then Shoko drops off of Miyu's shoulder. Miyu loses her balance and is just sitting on the floor, and Shoko just freezes and looks at Miyu, and Miyu is just like looking back at her, and they just like exchange this look. And Shoko isn't sure if she should take advantage of Miyo Watanabe. Up to that point, they kind of allowed each other to have breathing room and to like fight cleanly. But in this moment, she stares down at her rival and she just goes for it and just attacks her with a Northern Light suplex. And that's my favorite spot of the year.
Yeah, mine, I probably interpreted this incorrectly, but there's nowhere else to put it, so I put it here, which is Saya Kamitani and Tam Nakano walking off into the, I guess, twilight rather than sunset. Yeah. And, you know, sitting down on stage as all the feathers fall and pointing to the star or whatever, and the fade to black. Yeah, nothing's beating that. So I'll go with that.
Okay, Charlie? Charlie wants to speak.
She does. She's gonna come back and yell at me again. Okay. But yeah, so the one that I'm thinking of is the end of the Hangman Mox Texas Death. Like just the series where it's like, cause he like throws him over the ropes with the chain. Everyone thinks that's it, but then Mox scrambles loose, and then it's like the buckshot lariat onto the bed of nails and then back over. It's just, and the tap. It's just, that whole sequence was just so perfectly done. Being in the stadium to watch it was just incredible. And like I think about it a lot, like just everything about it was perfect. And then honorary mentions, I would say the end of Tony and Mercedes, where Tony just like, Mercedes is on the turnbuckle and then Tony just kisses her straight on the mouth and just pulls her into the Storm Zero like move and like off the top rope, and it looks so brutal and it was perfect too. And then also, what was the other one I was thinking of? It's one more. Oh yes, this is like, yeah, it's just like the moment. It's the same. It's the moment where it's Rina Yamashita against like Shuri, and in that like multi-man, and then the camera pan like she's getting like all worked up to like go after Shuri, and then the camera pans over and the entirety of Mi Vida Loca is like like huddled around the turnbuckle, like all of them together, like a little like swarm just cheering her on, so like you can do it, like so enthusiastically, like it's like a sports movie where like the rest of the team's like cheering on like the one remaining person. It's just so funny, so like so perfect. I keep saying they're perfect, but they are. And that was also just, it was great.
Oh, sorry, just because you reminded me, for my memes of the year, but it can also go here. It's on a similar note, which I've unfortunately turned Eric's YouTube account logo into, which is Sayaka pointing at herself when she realizes Brazil wants to challenge her. It's just my my favorite thing.
Yes.
And she looks like the double chin somehow, even though she's so tiny. I was like, oh. I loved it. Yeah, amazing. So back over to Emmy. Sorry to
Emmy. I don't know if I should say this out loud, but I've been looking at messages and someone was saying that they hope that this is really unhinged and that we've been drinking.
Yeah, they're going to be wildly disappointed. We are not more sober.
I'm so sober right now.
Yeah.
I've drank 2 small beers to celebrate Christmas, but
today during the podcast.
You didn't see him drink beer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what I thought that was. Okay. Well, anyway, so for best spot and sequence, I don't know. I'm still thinking about the Bucks versus Swerve and Ospreay and that whole sequence that just everybody was losing their minds during that the match. I would also say same as Alice, that ending bit of Hangman versus Mox at All In Texas. I feel like I've said this before, but I haven't said this on y'all's pod. But I was definitely screaming my lungs out during this match to the point where the security on the floor was looking up at me because I was begging for Mox to die. Like, so it's a great, that whole ending stretch is it's just so good. I love it so much. I'll never forget it for as long as I live. It gave me a headache for a week because of how much I was screaming. It was awesome. I wouldn't even change it for the world.
All right. Is it me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have I have the All-Star Grand Queen, the main event. There was the spot where Saya Kamitani pulled Tam Nakano up before the 3 count because she wasn't, I guess, mentally ready yet for her mentor to retire. That was like kind of the spot that broke me in that match, and it's just crazy incredible. I've still never gone back to watch it again, but yeah, I remember it vividly. It's crazy. Another one that is maybe a bit of a recency bias, but it's the Saya Ida apron bump for the Brainbuster from Ami Sourei, which was just 1 or 2 weeks ago, but one of the most insane bumps you're ever gonna see. So wanted to put that as my honorable mention here. All right. The next award, I guess, is the best White Devil, as Eric called it. It's basically the best gaijin, the best foreign wrestler in Japan. I don't know if we are the ones to judge that one, but I wrote down Megan Bain and Zack Sabre Jr. are my 2 favorites here. I didn't really know who to pick here, honestly. So maybe Emmy has a better answer for this one.
I don't watch enough foreign wrestling to say that I have a favorite White Devil.
Yes.
But I probably would have picked Zack Sabre Jr. because of like past years that I've watched a little bit of New Japan. Do love that guy. I think he's terrible in the best way. So yeah, I'd probably say Zack Sabre Jr. also.
Is anyone surprised that I'm gonna say Spike Nishimura? Because I think is she the best? I don't know, but she's the best in my heart.
Yeah.
You know, I love her. I just saw her and I was like, oh, new special little guy just dropped. You know. Also, actually, this does tie because the other spot I was thinking of as well was at the end of the Jaja Uma tournament, like it was her against Senka. And she lost, and the way that she was like laying on the mat and like looked like she was like hitting the mat, like visibly like upset and like in tears, and just the way that she sold like losing was just so like impactful. I was watching, like I was feeling really bad for her because she looked like so like upset on the verge of tears and just like frustrated that she had lost in a way that I really liked. Yeah. Okay.
Hi, Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
Did that come through?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, the cat didn't make a noise, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, David? Great. I'm done now. Charlie's free. So.
Yay.
So I've got my serious answers, which are kind of Zach and Gabe Kidd. And then also Jack Morris, kind of like as a lifetime achievement for just making a new life for himself out there and like kind of having a bit of a dead career in the UK. Not dead, he was fine, but like he's kind of stuck. And he's reinvented himself completely, and is a big part of Noah. And then my answer in the spirit of the name of the question, even though he doesn't quite fit this, is actually Omos, because I think him being in Japan, those photos of him walking through the street, him being the old, like if you think of like a Taiji Singh or like a Bruiser Brody, the pictures you'd get of them in Japan, like it was that 2-week press tour, whatever it was fucking insane. I mean, like, as I say, it's a meme answer because he's atrocious wrestler, but like he harkens back to the spirit of atrocious wrestlers they'd bring in to just shock the audience. You know what I mean? Is that fair or no?
Yeah.
No,
that makes sense.
Yeah. Great.
I thought he was pretty good in Noah, actually. Well, okay, good is a strong word, but he got over with the Noah audience. They actually really liked him. So
he's charismatic. He's good to talk and stuff. Yeah.
So I have 2 like honorable mentions. Not that I've seen enough of their wrestling to judge, but the Crush Boys. Was it Starboy Charlie and Tight? Like just purely because because they're called the Crush Boys because they're fans of the Crush. Like I just find that very fun. And then his little like overalls that was it Starboy Charlie. Yeah. I think that's hilarious. Haven't seen enough of them to judge, but I'm glad they're over there and they seem to be having fun. And was it Chigusa Nagaya seems to really like them, so good for everybody.
Yeah, they're her favorites. So I went with Debbie Keitel from Diana because she's been really important to setting up Diana's storylines heading into next year where they celebrate the 15th anniversary, and I haven't seen her have a bad performance, and I just think it's been a really good year for her. Obviously, Zach is the other one, but shout out to Omos, I guess, for best Black Devil in Japan this year. So there you
go. I'm glad you said it.
Well, I can say it because I'm half black, so I can say it. Oh, I'm doing next one. Right. I was like, why is everyone looking at me? Is it because I just said the best Black Devil? I was like, he is black, guys. Like, black's not a slur, people are black. So best non-wrestler. Ref, I just went with Ref Daichi. And my honorable mention was Hangman Adam Page.
Huh?
Next. Who's next?
Non-wrestling.
Yeah, well, you've confused.
I'm just doing a bit, guys. Why are you no-selling it? I'm just joking because he doesn't wrestle a lot, and he's just come on, Emmy. I know we're only 3 hours in. Wink, wink.
But okay, so my choice, and this is gonna sound a bit left field, but this is legitimately my choice, and I'm gonna explain why. My favorite non-wrestler by far is Ava, and this is because she's the GM of NXT, and she's the daughter of The Rock. Her entire character, I think, is the most realistic, except for Hangman, and fully realized character in all of the sport, which is she is a complete nepotism hire. She wants to survive and hang out and make friends, which is what she does. She's barely ever in her office. She's always hanging out with the other wrestlers who occasionally he'll walk in, bum out her good time, and she'll make a match based on what they want to do. in every scenario, she will do the absolute minimum amount of work, including holding what was it, like a 2-hour phone meeting with Santino to pick teams, where they didn't pick teams, and instead she waited for the first 2 people to come to the ring, start cutting promos, interrupted them, and said, "You know what? You should be my team captains. You pick the teams for me." So it's like a wild show if you watch it through the prism of her making the least effort decision and trying to get out of doing work the most possible. And I find it like wild entertaining. I mean, she's quite good at it. She does like a lot of funny put downs as well, and occasionally, as I said, when Blake Monroe was doing her fat shaming stuff with Jordan Grace, she actually then completely snapped out of her usual character and was like, "I don't accept this." And again, in like kind of a real way, she's like, I hate my job. I'd rather be at home, my giant mansion riding horses," which is what she does in her spare time. But the one thing that snaps her out of it is like, "No, that's not acceptable. I'm going in it." Anyway, so I love that character. And I think if you watch the show through the prism of her being trying to do the least amount of work possible while getting a nepotism hire, it's amazing. So yeah, I actually think it's the most rounded character there is. So except for Hangman.
It sounds like fun. Actually.
Okay, so best non-wrestler. I have RJ City, and not just because I ran into him at the airport on the way back from Texas, and had a very nice chat where I had to explain to my dad who he was, which happened with multiple wrestling personalities who we met over that weekend because my dad didn't know anything about wrestling, so we walked past Prince Nana and Brian Keith, and we asked them for directions on how to get into the stadium because they were in the parking lot. And then after I turned the corner, I said that they were wrestlers, and my dad was like, "Oh, you should have like stayed and talked to them." I was like, "No, like this right before work." Anyway, RJ City. I think like his AEW things are very fun. I think whatever creative work he's doing, I'm gonna assume it's good. I think his running bit where he will never ever get an all elite graphic is hilarious. He's a tortured soul, and his misery brings me joy. And then honorable mentions, I'm gonna say Renee Paquette, just because I think she is very good at like doing like interview stuff and like her reactions and all that. And like again, whenever there's anything with Hangman and Mox, like that's always really interesting because of like how much they do and don't acknowledge. And I think that's very fun. And I'm also going to say Luther. I think he's technically a wrestler, but he's been Tony's butler for a while. And I like the way that they've literally just been like, of course, the like 20th century like black and white film star has a butler who carries her around and wears white gloves. And in Australia, like before the match, like everyone was cheering, and he appears like walking down like the stairs in the arena, like partway around the arena, and then just tells everyone to shush, and they all shush. And then he gestures like to the stage, like, and I love all the little things that he does. I thought it was hilarious that Tony said that he was out injured because he was getting, was it like dick reattachment surgery or something? But she couldn't say that. She couldn't say that's what it was, but she heavily implied that in a way that I thought was just hysterical. And then apparently he came back dressed as Santa, which I didn't see, but I assume was funny. So I am going to give him credit for being just very entertaining in the role that he has. Okay.
For me, I chose Tony Schiavone because I really enjoyed the way that they were using him in the FTR thing with Nigel. I enjoy his relationship with Nigel has changed drastically since they were first put on Collision together. They got married at some point, and Nigel had to go into a match against FTR to basically defend Tony's honor, which I appreciated. It's the first time that I've ever enjoyed Nigel in like ever, because I didn't like him in NXT in commentary, and I didn't like him at the start of Collision when he started in AEW, and so I feel like that really turned around for me when he got put with Tony, and then also the spot with Hangman where they switched before the first Hangman Joe match was really good. On Fright Night Dynamite, where there was the whole Phantom of the Opera thing. The fact that he helped Hangman with that was pretty cool. So I really like him as a non-wrestling person. So yeah.
Awesome. So this is the part of pro wrestling that I really don't care about. Non-wrestlers. I'm not a big fan of like. I'm not a big fan of like managers and stuff like that. So usually when it comes to awards like this, I just always give it to Renee Paquette because she's lovely and the greatest interviewer in pro wrestling, in my opinion. So yeah, Renee for me. All right, our second to last award here today, penultimate award, is a special one that Eric thought of. It's the best venue. I'm gonna do my honorable mention here first, which is Yoyogi Second Gymnasium, which is not because of like I'm especially hyped when I see a show on stream there. It's just because it's the most beautiful venue and like one of the greatest venues I've been in Japan myself. It's both Yoyogi gymnasiums are really spectacular buildings. They kind of look like a bit like water droplets. They have like the special architecture that looks really cool, and they are like built on these like kind of elevated plateaus, which are like really cool architectural things. And inside of the Yoyogi Second Gym, it was just I saw the All Japan show there with Kato Miyahara and
Nakajima. Oh, Nakajima.
And that atmosphere was insane. That was one of the greatest live atmosphere I've ever experienced. So that's kind of a special building for me, the Yoyogi Second Gym. As for watching streams, it's the KBS Hall in Kyoto for me because it's just magnificent with the church windows in the back or whatever you call it.
Stained glass.
The tainted glasses, yeah, exactly. So yeah, KBS Hall is my official pick. Yoyogi Second Gym is my shout out because it's like a really cool building. Emmy, do you have a special venue?
I really hate to hand it to Chicago. In any way, shape, or form, usually. But the Aragon Ballroom fucking rocks.
That was cool.
Good. Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Was that the Collision residency? Wait, it was Dynamite as well, right? For like 3 weeks?
It was both. It was the ballroom that had like the sort of like tower sides that kind of looked like an old like spaghetti western, and then it had the beautiful like painted ceiling of like stars and stuff. That's a Hangman and Mox had the rematch.
Okay.
That's the venue that was in when Mox got to lay down on the ground and look up at that beautiful ceiling for 3 whole seconds.
Yes.
It was a very cool venue. Like if you look it up, like it is like very, very pretty, very unique, right? Like they could, and because they were there for a while, they could do a lot of cool stuff with it. And it fit Hangman's vibe because it was again like spaghetti. I mean, it looked kind of.
It fit Tony's vibe more, but yes.
Oh yes. She did a lot of various speeches on various balconies that looked great. Because that was going to be mine too. And then I will give a special shout out to the rec room it's called John Street Roundhouse. It's in Toronto. It's where the Mystery Wrestling in Toronto was. So if you look up the Roundhouse in Toronto, the interior, it's literally an old like preserved train roundhouse, right? Where like they store the trains. So it's this massive like old like wooden building with these giant, extremely high ceilings, and it just looks really cool. And we went my family went to go see Mystery Wrestling there. And it was just really pretty building to be in, really cool. There's like a train museum nearby, which was great. I got some photos of the trains. And the wrestlers were clearly so thrilled to be in a venue where they didn't have to worry about kicking the drop ceiling tiles every time they did a flip. Because that was the running joke in Mystery Wrestling, where because it's in like a small, like a teeny community center, the ceiling is super small. So they could actually like jump and do like flips and stuff. So that's the other one I'm going to give a shout out to.
Awesome.
So I've got mirroring Tim, in terms of watching on the TV, KBS Hall in Kyoto is amazing with the stained glass windows, casting all the blue light, and the big sun, which also goes with a lot of Joshi wrestlers' gimmicks sometimes. Really nice. Then I've got two more in two different categories for different reasons. So for personal enjoyment, I really like your call because even though it's shocking getting to the bar there, you can lean against any of these wooden walls and have a great view. I'm a tall guy. I hate obstructing people's view. I hate it. I hate the idea I'm ruining someone's day. So I love that I can stand by the wall. You can smack the wall because it's made of wood. It makes a great sound. You get a rowdy crowd. It's awesome. The other one I like is Big Penny Social because it's a big pub. It's got a big bar. It's got it's a bit more corporate than where they used to be maybe, but it's still got like enough punk energy that it fits Eve. It's got vegan food, and you can go and have a night out afterwards as well if you want. So I really enjoyed that aspect. I'm looking forward to going to Indigo too with Eric, where I'm sure now I'm worried I'm going to get a lecture on watching WWE when we're watching the show, but I'm kidding. But the one worry I have about the Indigo too, it's like this not beautiful venue. It's a nice venue with good sightlines, but it is so the antithesis of anywhere else they've been. It's like the most corporate venue. So like Coors Light on tap, Dayglow bar type stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how that fits with Eve. And then, sorry, I'll hurry up. Last two are kind of practical ones. So for practicality, the O2 Arena bar the price of drinks and the Copper Box, I think, have the best sight lines for a biggish arena, plus the ability to retain and amplify sound, which I think are important for big shows. So those are my choices.
Damn, guys. Okay, I wasn't expecting these answers. These are well thought out answers. I just picked Post the Amistad, which is like a tiny little venue in Kawasaki, Kanagawa, owned by Diana, and it's literally just because it's been like my sanctuary for the year because it's like the spiritual home of the Joshi Indies. Bunch of shows happen there. I feel like I watch more shows there than anything else, and I'm just happy whenever I watch a show there. So I'm really hoping to go there on my next trip to Japan, since I don't think I'll have time this trip because it's kind of out of the way. But yeah. All right.
I love that answer.
Thank you. Last one. All right. This is kind of like most underutilized. Why not? Mika Iwata. Next.
Oh, it's one word answer. Okay, nice.
No, it's not. I just don't have anything else to say. Mika Iwata. Perennial loser in Sendai Girls.
Yeah, that does suck. But I mean, she got to win in Stardom, which is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah,
once, once briefly, but still. Anyway, so mine are Hina, because she's not underutilized, but I would like her to be utilized more, especially in the coming year. One that won't mean much to you guys, but Jada Parker, she's like a great talker. She's got a great look. She's a bit crap in the ring, but they all are in NXT. And the reason she doesn't get pushed is because, this is true apparently, the people backstage WWE have decided that the Florida crowd only like her because they're into her. No one else would like her. And then they take her on the road, and everywhere they go, she's the most over woman, even though she only gets a little bit of TV time. But they ignore this apparently. So this is why she's apparently de-pushed and not on TV much, which is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard of. And it's another reason why I voted Sean Worst Booker. And then finally, there's this 37-year-old woman who's like, some would say in the prime of her career, who's no longer appears to be having many matches, and I don't even know where she is. That would be Tam Nakano. So I feel like she could have a useful role somewhere in the wrestling industry. You don't hear much about her these days from anyone, right?
Kind of true, yeah.
Bring her up.
Big T in the
sky. First time she's been mentioned.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned her enough. Yeah.
I'm gonna say somehow Hangman. I know, like he was literally men's world champ this year, and yet just not capitalizing on what they could have had in a way that was just incredibly frustrating, because it's just you're so close to what you could have, and then you just don't do it. And it's just, again, just like, why? Not to say like leaving money on the table or whatever, but it is one of those things where you are like kind of just confused about, like, again, it's a slam dunk and it's not happening, and I don't understand it. But yeah, so that's my answer, even though, again, it's amazing somehow literally being the world champ and yet still having that problem again. So yeah.
Yeah, so when I saw this category, I struggled between understanding what it meant, because I had more thoughts on badly utilized than underutilized. In which case I would put Hangman on badly utilized and also underutilized. But in terms of like an actual person that I really would just like to see more on the show, I would say Queen Aminata. She had, you know, she had kind of like a little mini push during the summer when they were doing the stuff with Tekla and everything like that, but and then she got injured, so there wasn't a lot that they could do about that. But at the same time, I still felt like they weren't using her enough, and I wanted to see her more on the show, and I didn't get to see her more on the show, so she's my most underutilized for me. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I thought it was pretty easily Hangman. The fact he did physically have the belt, I guess, but he was immediately underutilized once he won the belt at All In. Right after that, the first like the next 2 months, he was just like third most important at best, I think, in the presentation of AEW. And then he loses like this, and yeah, it's easily Hangman for me. Like, I don't know what they're doing. It's sad, but
oh, can I just remembered another one, which is technically, I guess, misutilized, but Ricochet, specifically because he could have been like a world like title like contender for Hangman, which I think was like thrown around as an idea, but he couldn't do that because he had to go again be on babysitting duty, and I think that's just a shame because he really could have like reached that and like been in that role, and then he just was not allowed to, and I think that's just really missed opportunity there.
I thought actually that was where Emmy was going before she said Queen Aminata instead. I thought she was gonna say Ricochet.
I had Ricochet in my head the entire time, and then I went with Queen Aminata because I felt like she was more the underutilized person.
Yes.
And I stuck Ricochet in under badly utilized because I didn't want him being stuck with the Hurt Syndicate. Like, yeah, okay, so he babysat the Hurt Syndicate, so we didn't have to deal with them in the world title picture, but at the same time, it's like Ricochet should have been in the world title picture. And he should have been in the world title picture.
I was going to say, as the Social Suplex kind of WWE correspondent, I should also add, I was more interested in talking about the others, but just for completeness sake, because it's probably what people might scream out, is Carmelo Hayes, Julia, and Fraxium, which is Nathan Frazier and Axiom, were basically anyone on SmackDown who's in the mid card who's talented.
Okay.
So cool. All right. So I kind of want to spring one more, okay? And it'll be a short one, okay? Because I don't want this to be the Tam Nakano and Hangman podcast, all right? So this is the Special Little Guy Award with a twist. So you have to shout out a favorite wrestler of yours that people don't know you like so much or rate so highly. And that part's important. So Tim, you can't say Tim Nakano. Emmy, you can't say Hangman. Alice, you can't say Evil Uno or Hangman. Oh, I don't actually know your favorite wrestler, but I assume it's Hangman or Evil Uno. And David, you can't say Mascara Dorada. Yeah, that's the one that you like. And I can't say Venny
I can't say Ava.
Or Ava, yeah. And I can't say Venny or Miyu Watanabe. I think you get the idea. So only one wrestler, no backsies. Okay. So does anyone go first? Or obviously I came up with this, so I have an answer if you guys want me to go first.
Yeah, you go first.
You go first.
Okay, you guys need to think. So this was really hard because people kind of already know a lot of my favorites because I have a weekly podcast. So I decided to pick my non-Joshi Special Little Guy, which I don't talk about very often. He's funny, he's handsome, he's a great wrestler, he's young, he's the future ace of DDT, and he makes me happy. And that's Takeshi Masada. So that's my non-Joshi special Little Guy.
I actually can I go next?
Yeah, go for it.
Sure.
Okay, so first name that pops to mind is Swerve Strickland. I love him so much. Here's the thing, is that when he first showed up in AEW, I didn't know anything about him, but I was immediately captivated. And then when he got put with Keith Lee and they did Swerve in Our Glory, and I saw that he was just a backstabbing little gremlin, and you could see it in his face, and you were just waiting for the shoe to drop. I was just like, oh, I love this guy so much. If you look at my GIF archive where I make GIFs on Tumblr, the only other person pretty much that I made GIFs of was either Sami Zayn in WWE or Swerve Strickland. And it's just like, I love him so much when he first showed up, and up until now, all the changes that he's made and everything, he's just, I love him. I love him so much. And then like Okada, I love Okada. I knew what he was going to be from the moment they said he was going to show up in AEW. I said, this man is going to be a comedy wrestler, and he is going to be the best damn comedy wrestler that exists on this planet, and I love him so much, and he's so good, and I love him. Yes, those are my two. And then also, obviously, Tony Storm. I love Tony.
Anyone else?
I haven't said it. I don't really talk about him as much anymore, and part of that's just because he was out injured for a while. But Orange Cassidy, I love Orange Cassidy. I mean, I like Saki, like Kashima, right? So it's kind of, like similar, like comedy wrestling style. But he was one of the very, very first, when I first got into wrestling. It was like him and Best Friends that I like found first. So yeah, one of the OGs.
Cool. David?
Right.
I should go next, saved him for last because he's got a big replacement to make.
Oh.
So I'll go with, I'll build up. So I've got two that are like my pre-existing long-term ones. So one is Io Sky. I love her mannerisms, her weird I'm a grumpy old man in the body of like a young fashionable woman thing. So she's just like a walking meme that I enjoy. I'd love to hang out with her. The second one that I've always been a big supporter of, like he's not my guy, and I don't think he's like the coolest guy, but I always feel for him, is Hiroki Goto, because he is like the metaphor for the frustrated middle-aged man. He is like, I know I'm not the best, I'm not it, everyone surpassed me, I'm an old man in the young man's industry, but like I'm gonna keep on trying. And when he won in front of his kids, after his kids have been brought to tears like 2 years in a row, I thought that was magical. So he's always got a special place for me. And then the last one is, I came on last time and said I had a new favorite wrestler replacing Himeka, and I forgot to reveal who it was.
Oh, right, yeah.
And what's interesting is that since then I've kind of had some hesitation, because two people have kind of merged into the role, because one of them has all of the attributes that drew me to saying it's going to be them, but then the other one has the things that she's lacking. So my new favorite is Aya Sakura, and
that's cool.
Kind of tied with Sayaka Karura, because Karura has all all her facial expressions and weird humor. I would like to be added to everything else that Aya does, but then they're separate people, unfortunately. So I think it is Aya, but Aya's the in-ring one I love the most. And it helps her a team. So yeah, I'm torn, but it's leaning Aya.
All right,
and that leaves Tim.
Yeah, that's cool. This is tough because I don't like particularly shy away from naming my special little guys in every promotion. Like I could say like Suzume from TJPW now, but I've said this before, how much I actually like Suzume and stuff. So maybe someone who I haven't mentioned this for a lot. I think of Maika maybe.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's pretty firmly like my number 2 in Stardom, I guess, that I would root for. It's really tough. Now Ishikawa maybe is an underrated one.
Ooh. Thinking outside the box.
I've said before that I'm really rooting for now always, and I've always been pissed off at her like being just used as an undercard, but that's kind of changing now, so I'm happy about that. So those are kind of my answers here. Suzume, I would say Suzume anyway.
I would say also, because sorry, Tim just reminded me. Oh, sorry to cut one off, but Maika,
in terms of like,
if it was real life, who I'd most like to hang out with, and who I'm confident would fit into my friend
sure.
group, and I'd have a great night out, it would be her and Utami. They're like the kind of people I vibe with. So yeah, but that's different from watching the show and cheering and stuff, I guess.
Oh, and I just thought of another one who was always like one of my favorites in Stardom. So like a secret favorite was always Mirai. So I'm really happy that she's everywhere now. That she's a freelancer. So awesome.
I'm very happy about how that question went. That went better than I expected. Good job.
I feel like I mentioned Ricochet and Mercedes enough to where I didn't have to mention them.
No, I was not going to allow you say Ricochet or Tony or Mercedes. Yeah.
Okay. You picked. We knew your wife and your son were not included in the question.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Swerve was a good pick. Yeah. Cool. All right. So we've been going for only 3.5 hours. So I think.
Well, you know what that means is we still have time to review the Tai Hanma show.
I think we're out of time for the.
Oh wait, no, we need to review the other match. We can't do that.
There was an NXT
We do have
match
to
that I
do
watched.
Davis' match, right?
You guys really want to review the NXT match?
I actually do have some interesting things to say about this match.
Oh wow, okay, yeah, go for it. Thing is,
all right, you start then, Emmy.
Go for it, Emmy.
2 a.m. Yeah, go Emmy. Go
on, Emmy.
Okay, so my first reaction when I turned on the YouTube video.
Sorry. Let's introduce it. Sorry. So we watched. So this is a listener recommendation from David Hayter. We watched Sol Ruka, Lola Vice, and Kendall Gray versus Fatal Influence from NXT. Okay, David recommended it. That's why we watched this.
December 2nd.
December 2nd. Emmy, go.
Okay, so my first thought was, why is Corey Graves here? Because like I said, I can't drown out commentary. And as soon as I heard Corey Graves, I was like, why is he here? Anyway, so in terms of like the match itself, I thought it was kind of fun. It was very fast paced on certain things. And it felt very Spot Fest, like PWG, and I say that like hesitantly laudatory. I didn't see a lot of wrestling happening in the match per se. I thought that something about the camera movements I found extremely nauseating, especially when they were going to the outside. So that I thought actually helped the wrestlers look like they were moving faster. So I think that that's the reason that they do it, but also it was nauseating to me. There were a lot of blonde women in this match, which to me is a negative. I'm sorry.
Fuck blonde women.
Look, I say what I see, okay?
Yeah, there were.
Sol Ruka looks like one of my cousin's wives. Like literally looks just like one of them. That's not to say that my cousin has many wives. I just mean one of my cousins has a wife and looks just like Sol Ruka. Okay. The girl that was in the gray bodysuit, she seemed to have like a pretty good speed. Like she was going pretty fast. Gray. Yeah, she seemed I thought she was pretty good. I did also think Sol Ruka was kind of good. Lainey Reed's drop kick when she got tagged in was not great, and her selling on the bump that she took afterwards was kind of bad, and I didn't like it. The Fallon Henley body scissors takedown that she did to, I think it was Sol Ruka, was really kind of cool. I won't lie, that was kind of cool. And then the last thing that I had to say about this is, do you think that if these girls fought luchadores that they could hold their own?
They would be better than CML luchadores.
It depends.
For sure. Well, Kendall Gray definitely.
No, I meant the male wrestlers. I know they're better than the female ones.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
So I think the main takeaway I had from this match is that while it did look very like competently done, the things they did, and very like fast paced and technically well executed. It did feel very much choreographed and like like intrinsically like a performance, like a, what do you call it?
Overproduced.
Yeah, yeah. So I think in like a more uncontrolled environment, I think they would probably not look as good, which is like classical. Right? Like I don't know how much like luchadors would like pre-plan their match like this, and how much like if they had to do anything spontaneously or call something in the ring or like do some freestyle wrestling or whatever. I don't know if it would go that well, but I do think maybe it's a hot take, but I didn't think it was very, very bad or anything. I thought it was definitely better than both women's matches I saw on the Survivor Series show. Even if it was highly choreographed, at least they didn't look like, I don't know, kindergarten teachers in there flailing their arms around.
Yeah.
Not trying to hurt each other in a War Games match. One major negative, I think I'm a lot more respectful towards these women than the NXT faithful in the building, who were constantly doing the wave and shit, which annoyed me to no end in the background. The commentary, as Emmy already mentioned, was absolutely fucking dreadful. That was not great.
I can't stand that guy.
Corey Graves, the legal superstar at this point. You said once, and I wanted to puke. The fucking finisher she does, I don't know. I think it's Soruka is fucking preposterous. That's pretty much my last note for this one.
Can I just say on the wave, because I've pointed this out, and it's going to be a big problem if she ever does go to the main roster. Soruka is like a legit surfer or beach lady, beach gymnast. So she has started, especially when they go to breaks, starting a wave. So she'll do like a Sasuke special, and then she'll like start the wave. And I'm like, okay, with like 500 people, that's right, because it'll just die off. If you start doing that in an arena, you're gonna fucking kill every match.
Oh, I thought it was disrespect from the audience. Okay,
because they didn't stop when they were doing moves. They just kept doing it.
Yeah,
it's really. The first time she did it, I was like, oh, you're gonna regret doing that so much. Yeah, because it's gonna ruin all your matches from now on. And the other thing is, you guys are lucky. Corey is. Normally it's Booker T, and if you want disrespectful to the female talent,
yeah.
Oh, and the other thing is, I don't know if you heard it in this match. What do you make of Lola Vice? Every time she does a hip attack, she shouts, "I'm a Latina." Is that fair or is that not fair?
Did she say that?
I never heard
that.
She does. I'm a Latina, and then charges arse attacks. I thought you might notice.
What the hell?
It depends how well Mike is, right?
Okay, I'm not
like
you. Okay, one of my notes is, oh, of course, she thinks she's a baddie Latina or whatever, so she must have an arse-based attack. And now you're telling me she actually says, I'm a Latina, before doing the... That's insane. That is fucking insane.
It's one going to be fun to watch, because I thought it was quite joyful.
I didn't catch on to that.
But like, I also thought it had all this AD NXT stuff in it. And it would get to show Tim who JC Jane is after he was wondering on the PWI.
I honestly didn't.
Crazy? She's the only one I didn't really like that I viscerally disliked.
She's fucking horrible.
Not her.
Lola. She's fucking terrible.
I didn't like her.
I could not have told you who was who. No chance.
Well, I remember her because she's the one with she does these kicks, and I don't know if she has a legit MMA background, but her kicks look awful. She did a hot tag. Yeah, what was it? David, does she have a background?
She's an UFC fighter, yeah, and a Taekwondo black belt. And her sister is too, I think. Maybe not as good, but like that's where she came from. She used to be famous for her weigh-ins, where she would wear not much, right, to make weight.
Okay, none of her.
I would rather see Orange Cassidy do his stupid little kicks every second of my entire life than
Seriously.
have to see those kicks that I just saw.
Those kicks were awful. She wasn't connecting with any of them. There are rookies that have better kicks than her. I can't believe she was actually a UFC fighter. Just why can't she just lay in a bit more? She's just anyway. Okay, anyway, that was my only note.
And Lainey is like the one Emmy pointed out has been particularly like probably the worst one. She is like the newest one. She is they seem to she got called in to replace the one that wanted more money, so they fired her basically. So
oh shit.
Her.
That's Jasmine Nix, right? The only wrestler. Go on.
Oh, you gone.
No, I was just gonna say the only wrestler. I was gonna say the only wrestler I liked in this match was Kendall Gray. I thought Kendall Gray was pretty good actually. Her striking's a bit bad, but I think she's got like a cool cradle. She had like a cool Casadora transition into a flatliner. That was pretty good. Yeah, she's kind of legit. Everyone else I absolutely hated in this match. Arisu, did you watch it? Arisu?
All right.
No, I did not do this. Yeah. I thought about watching Ice Ribbon instead. I didn't yet, but it's on the list.
Good. No, do not put that on the list. Yeah. All right.
No, not the match. The Ice Ribbon. I would not subject my. I watched a WWE match, and it caused me to sort of question my life choices.
Yeah.
So I will not be doing that again for at least another couple months. Sorry.
All right. Cool. Thank you all for listening to part 2 of Joshi'ing Around Christmas episode. To our guests, we'll go one by one. David Hayter, would you like to plug anything?
Oh, just the show. It's great. Thank you for having me, and thank you for enjoying my quiz.
Thank you very much, David. And we have Emmy. Would you like to plug yourself?
I just want to say first that it was an incredible quiz, and I can't believe that we absolutely decimated.
Destroyed. 50 points to 27.
Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me on the show, and for just always bringing the great vibes every week with Joshi wrestling that I don't watch, but I enjoy so much just listening to you guys talk about it, because I know you guys love it so much. I don't have anything to plug right now except for the Social Suplex newsletter. It's going to be coming out relatively soon, or by the time that this gets posted, I assume it should be out.
It would already be out for sure. Yeah.
Right. So go check out the Social Suplex newsletter. All 4 of the people that are on this podcast with me write for the Social Suplex newsletter, and they're all amazing, and I love them so much. But yeah.
Love you too, Amy. Arisu?
All right. Well, just again with the quiz, incredible. So it's always thanks for having me on, and also it's just such a joy listening to you guys every week and getting like into Joshi wrestling through like what you guys do, and I find it's just really nice and like very accessible, and I really appreciate it. It's been very nice. And yeah, my cat's yelling at me. For and things to plug, I mean, Social Suplex newsletter. That's the main thing. So if especially if you want to basically read, like if you want to experience part of the podcast in like written form, like you're gonna find like everyone's writing on there, like recaps and stuff about like what people are following. And even if you don't follow those promotions, it's nice to read up on what's going on where. So yeah, thank you.
And I'd like to thank all of our guests. They've been insane. You've kept up the energy for so long, for 3.5 hours. Oh, wink, wink. Honestly, I'm really appreciative of you guys doing that and staying up late. David, obviously. David, thank you for coming on, returning guest, and for the amazing quiz. Honestly, it completely surpassed my expectations, and it was way more fun than I even thought it would be. And I'm a competitive person, so thank you for allowing me the opportunity to destroy Tim, and thank you for all the writing you do for the Social Suplex newsletter. And we'll have you on another time, I'm sure. Arisu, thank you for being indoctrinated by us. I really appreciate you that you actually took the dive to start watching stuff and give us feedback and tell us what you like, what you don't like. So I really appreciate your support on the podcast. Emmy, you don't watch Joshi and you still listen to us. It's honestly the most insane thing. I DM'd Tim about it. I'm like, Tim, how does she listen to this? It's amazing, and I love the support you give us. I just wanted to put that on record because I haven't said it to you directly, but it's honestly insane and I love it. And I'm looking forward to meeting you in Japan. So thank you very much. And Tim.
Yes.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to have a podcast with you. It's been lovely. It's been the best 3 months of my life. It's been amazing, more than my wedding, Tim. Okay, I've loved this more than my wedding. Okay,
does your wife listen to this?
You are my work husband, okay, and you're so easy to work with every single week. And I just love doing this podcast, and I can't wait to start it up again when I'm back from Japan, renewed and excited about all of the things that we've seen together. So I really appreciate you asking me to do this podcast. And thank you.
Thank you so much. No, I can only echo this. I'm, first of all, really glad for our guests. They stuck with us for a long while this evening, 3.5 hours to be exact. And yeah, thank you so much for the excellent quiz, David. There was a lot of effort you put in there. That's amazing. Love to have you on again soon, maybe after the next big Stardom show or something. We'll figure it out. Thank you, Emmy. Thank you, Alice. Thank you. I think you are the top ranked Jawheads on the leaderboard right now.
They're definitely the top 2 ranked.
Is that right? Yeah,
you're joint top. Sure. You're joint top.
I mean, I'm fine with Alice being one. That's fine.
Okay, you just want to be above Kaze. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You are.
Yeah, right.
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And on that
note, of course, Eric, thank you for doing this with me. I got really lucky for you to accept my invitation to be my permanent co-host. So I feel really, really lucky about that. And my brain is fried. I'm done for tonight. Well, I can't stop rhyming today. I will let you guys know if we will be able to record anything in Japan. I don't know how I will let you guys know. That actually doesn't make sense. You'll see if something pops up in your feeds.
Yeah.
Then we did something fun in Japan too. Otherwise, we're probably not gonna have an episode until like end of January.
Well, on that note, we are wrapping up the episode. Wait,
but I thought we had some time for the
what?
Tim.
Retirement show.
What retirement show?
Before we go, I have something. Give me 2 more minutes, okay? I have something prepared for the end here. If you guys don't mind, I have a little present for you and our listeners.
What?
All right. It was the night before Christmas. Wait, no, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was 73 nights before Christmas, when all through Shinjuku, not a creature was stirring, not even Yuki Kamifuku. The banners were hung by the stage with care, in hopes that Tai Honma soon would be there. The Joshi were nestled or snug in the ring, while visions of shoot headbutts danced through the film. And Risa Sarah in her kerchief and Yu in her cap had just settled their brains for a long retirement nap. When out in the ring, there arose such a clatter. She sprang from the turnbuckle to see what was the matter. Away to the ring she flew like a flash, tore open her opponents and kicked up the trash. The spotlight on the breast of the new fallen Sting gave the luster of midday to the wrestlers in the ring. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a big majestic entrance, and a Joshi we all hold dear. With a little old driver so lively on par, I knew in a moment it must be Tai Honma. More rapid than eagles, her coursers they came, And she whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Natspoi, now Saori, now Miyuki Takasi and Hibiscus Mi. On Ranmaru, on Hotta, on Kurumi and Shin Sakura Hirota. To the top of the apron, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when she meets with an obstacle, mounts to the sky. So up to the turnbuckle, Tai Honma she flew, with the ring full of Joshi and Maya Yukihi too. And then in a twinkling, I heard in the ring the prancing and pawning of each little thing. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the turnbuckle, Tai Honma came with a bound. She was dressed in her gear from her head to her foot, and her clothes were all flashy with sparklers and glutes. A bundle of streamers they had flung on her back, and she looked like a wrestler just on her finishing stretch. Her eyes, how they twinkled, her dimples, how merry. Her cheeks were like roses, her nose like a cherry. Her droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the mat she was sat on as white as the snow. She was happy and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw her, in spite of myself. A wink of her eye and a twist of her head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. She spoke not a word, but went straight to the back and elevated all the rookies. The spotlight turned black. And laying her finger aside of her nose and giving a nod, up the stage she rose. She sprang to the curtain, to her team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard them exclaim, ere they drove out of sight, happy retirement to Tai, and to all a good night.